Always Irish. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? It's a poison. I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing. Doing a damn thing. The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. No Irish. No Irish. No Irish. No Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, that's right. Here we go. Let's start it off right, baby. Long live Leahy. Get a glimpse of that shirt. Long live the Leahy. Now and forever. Let's get that out of the way right now. Okay, I'm in a Leahy kind of mood. I'm in a Notre Dame winning kind of mood. I walk outside and it feels like fall and it feels like football outside and it gets me juiced up kind of mood. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, folks. Oh, by the way, if you want to get one of these Long Live Leahys, the link's in the description. I don't want to forget to promo myself. I'm just telling you, why am I in a good mood? Football's almost back. Football's almost back. It's like the only thing John cares about, and it's coming back. And I feel the energy. And you know what else I feel? Ooh, you know what else I feel? I don't want to jinx it. Oh, I don't want to jinx this. I don't want to jinx it. I was going to say, I kind of feel like Notre Dame fans' moods are starting to turn a little bit. We were salty earlier in the week. Everybody was in a bad mood. I'm just kind of saying, I feel like we're starting to come out of it a little bit. Anybody else see Neon Dion's presser? I got to tell you, now that I've transitioned more into like media stuff and I understand what that looks like behind the scenes, got to be very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable to be a media member going in there to talk to Dion and you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if he's going to play nice. You don't know if he's going to light you up. That is a weird situation. A weird situation because you just don't know what you're going to get. I see Always Irish Senior's in here. He's in Florida with my brother. He was over at my brother's earlier. Tornado in the neighborhood. They're taking pictures, sending me videos. There's a tornado in the neighborhood. Apparently, it didn't hit you guys. You're here and you have the internet, so apparently it didn't hit the neighborhood. But there was a tornado I saw a picture of in Florida, right by the water. That was kind of cool. I'm glad you guys are okay, Andrew and Always Irish Senior there. So thanks for being here, everybody. Here's the deal. We got a few callers. I'm going to go with the callers early. I'm going to try and do a better job of respecting the callers that have been waiting and whatever. We have a couple of them that have not called in a very long time that I'm going to get in here and then they could go live their life here. So I'm going to do that early. I promise it's not going to be 28, 38 minutes. I'm going to get to those callers. Everybody on hold right now, I'm going to get to you early in the first part of this show. And I want to hear what you guys have to think. But here's the big thing, man. 3 more weeks. I'm telling you, 3 more weeks. It's going quick. And I got to tell you, man, breathing that non-humid summer air, like even the leaves are starting to change colors on the trees. I'm telling you guys, it's almost here. It's almost, I get made fun of for that dog days this summer. I'm waiting. I'm looking at the calendar. When's it going to be? Whatever the dog days. It's almost here, you guys. 3 more weeks. Life's going to get real serious for all of us real fast. Really fast. And I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. It just didn't feel like August. It felt like late September, October morning. You breathe in that air. You breathe in that air. You sniff it in and you smell winning football. Hopefully by us. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate that. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way. You will alert every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish. Emails always Irish Andy at gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face. Nobody going to blame you for that one. The Colin Lines. 312-988-15. You dialed up. Tell Uncle Johnny all the football happenings you've heard and seen. Sports Illustrated, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Google it. Oh, we got articles. Oh, we got articles for days, man. I've been averaging 3 or 4 articles a day the last week and a half. Oh, I got ideas. Oh, the football ideas. I got a notepad, you guys. I was telling Shepkowski this on the phone. I got a notepad, and it's just a ding, ding, ding. It rings in John, whatever brain John has. It's like idea, football, write article, ding, ding. But if I don't write it down right away, I'll forget it. So whenever an idea comes into my cerebellum, I write it down real quick, and then I go write an article. It's beautiful. Everybody doing a good job over there. The team's off to the races. I can't wait to see what shape this takes when we get into the season and we actually have football. Mikey Pohl says, crack yourself a Miller Lite, John. It'll take the edge off. I am trying to be on my best behavior. Maybe after the show, when I'm editing things up afterwards and turning this into an MP3, the audio only, whatever. Are they still called MP3s? The audio only. Maybe I'll crack one then. But I want to be here fully engaged with you guys. I don't need a Miller Lite for my energy. I got enough energy. No, I do not play fantasy football. Never have. That might be weird. As much as I love football, I'm not an NFL guy. I don't care about the NFL. I watch the Bears, but I don't care about the Bears. It doesn't move my emotions, but I watch them. Just never got into the fantasy football. And then it's just a lot of time of me figuring out who I'm going to play and whatever. I got content obligations, baby. And I'm a slave to this Notre Dame content, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I absolutely love thinking and writing and talking about Notre Dame. It's the only thing my stupid skeleton carcass was put on this earth to do, is to yell about and write about Notre Dame. I'm convinced of that. All right. Thank you for spending your Saturday night here. Here's the first thing. We got a couple of these super chats. Nikki Dean loves to be heard and seen. $5 holler. John, would you say hi to Edward for my grandson? Edward, welcome to the program. I've heard a lot about you. Every time we see the grandparents at the tailgate, we hear about you. We hear you're a big Notre Dame fan. And I got to tell you, you have wonderful, wonderful grandparents that I sincerely love. Just the nicest people in the world. So you have a really, really nice family, Edward. Grandparents are wonderful, wonderful, just nice people. And you know what? Man, those are hard to find these days. Just nice people with no agenda other than just be nice because they're nice. It's rare to find, and I love it. So I hope to see you guys in a few weeks at the tailgate for the Notre Dame, Miami, Ohio. But Edward, thanks for being here. And again, you do have some wonderful, nice grandparents. Look at this $10 holler. Oh, she's coming up. Oh, she's coming up. What is this? Looks like mid-May's the last time I talked to her. Ooh, she's coming up. Who's the nicest guy? Man, I got to tell you, it ain't me. I know that. It's Jay Layman. I don't know if he's here tonight. Jay Layman's the nicest guy in my community. It blows my mind that he's a fan of my show because of how decent and pleasant and nice he is. He's literally the nicest guy in my whole ecosystem. He just tweets I hope God gives me the strength to be a better person and an understanding of others when I get frustrated. Jay Layman is honestly a saint, and I'm glad to have him in my corner, and love my show because he is the sweetest man I've ever met. He is just I wish I could be as nice as Jay Layman. He emails me after the show sometimes. John, I know this was kind of awkward, or here's an idea of how to handle that because I could tell it made you awkward. He sees and hears things. He sees and hears things that everybody doesn't catch. He's just a lovely person. So I got to give it to him, although I got some really nice people. I have some really, really nice people in my corner, but Jay Layman is top-notch, considerate fellow, and I love him for it. All right. Couple more super chats. I'm going to go right to the calls, and I'm going to honor this, and I'm going to get through my first bank of calls here, give you guys the time. ND Gal, you're coming up. It's been May. I got Pistol Pete waiting. I got 469 up on the line. It's been a long time. I got a 301. All you guys are coming up, okay? You're all coming up. Okay, couple news items. Number one, Brandon Logan, baseball and football player, decommitted from Vandy, commits to Notre Dame today. Looks like maybe double sport athlete, baseball, football combo. Very, very interesting. You know, like I think a 3-star football safety recruit. And I don't know if that scares people away from it or they don't like this because he's a 3-star, whatever. But here's what I'm going to say about this. People have asked too, so we need to hit it. If you're going to go down this road, give me a guy that's good enough to be a dual sport athlete, and he's so fast. Fast. Commander, I knew I could count on you to look at it and go, 3-star, I'm out of here, whatever. I'm telling you, though, when you have an elite skill set, I will take that. I knew what I was going to get from this group, and I'm not saying it's unfair of you to say, you know, oh, 3-star guy, I'm not that impressed, whatever. But if you're going to go down this road, a guy good enough to play 2 college sports is a good way to do it. Look up those track times. It's legitimately impressive speed and athleticism the guy has. So again, maybe this could turn into something a lot more than just a regular 3-star RKG with the John Kennedy body that I like to do on my bingo sheets. But I knew some of you were going to say, I'm not impressed, 3-star guy, whatever. But the ability to do double the sports here in college impresses me. And every single person has said just speed, high level, like just athleticism. So if you're going to go down this road, give me a guy that's a very, very athletic kid that's very, very fast. See what we could work with. And then also, Anthony, is it Anthony Tresh from Pro Football Focus. Freeman hired him to come to Notre Dame. It's very interesting to come to Notre Dame and leave Pro Football Focus, where he did a lot of analytics work for the draft and looking at what guy you would want to draft and all those numbers. And Tresh, Treash. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm saying his name is Tresh. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm saying trash. Treash. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyways, an analytics guy for Pro Football Focus. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And so we'll see what comes with that. Crunching the analytics and doing that kind of stuff. Very, very interesting. More of a pro-centric model. The analytics type stuff, looking at the raw numbers and seeing how you could fit that together. It's a very pro type model. Very, very interesting. Man, some of you guys are being negative on a Saturday. Maybe you need to drink the Miller Lights. Geez, lighten up. Eric, $5 holler. Eric, you can't give the company to Eric. What movie is that from? Eric, you can't give the company to Eric. 3 weeks ago, Johnny, let's go. Oh, you bet. Commander Luke. He's doing a $5 holler, trying to make up for stressing me out during the week. Is that what it is, Commander? A $5 holler, get me a Miller Lite at a bar with Pat somewhere to make up for all the stress you caused me on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. Matt with the $10 holler, receive my A&M ND tickets today. Christmas comes in 3 weeks. Go Irish. Matt, I think you're going to be severely outnumbered, and I wish you the best. And keep your head on a swivel for all the male cheerleaders in the white overalls. Keep your head on a swivel. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. What do you got underneath them overalls? I don't trust these people. You got to keep your head on a darn swivel when you're out that way. Represent us long and strong and loud and proud, but keep your head on a swivel. I don't trust those people at Texas A&M. Usually the religious people are accused of being a cult, not compared to these people. Weird. $10 holler, 21 days to glory. It's only glory if Notre Dame writes their own story. And the only way you write that is winning the game. Winning the game. All right, we're going to the callers. Why is Blake Ruffino so obsessed with ND fans? I don't know. Me and Blake go back and forth all the time. we're very similar career tracks, doing your own YouTube thing, then kind of transitioning, quitting a real job and trying to do it full time, and then getting some deals that help you do that. Like, we're on the same like kind of path there, so we relate. But the LSU Notre Dame and the Brian Kelly thing, he comes at me all the time. I go at him. He comes at Notre Dame people. It's a back and forth thing, but I don't know. And then his co-host is a Notre Dame guy. His co-host is a Notre Dame guy. So, there's always a hint of that on that one show. Joe's his partner. So there's always a little Notre Dame-iness in there. I see you guys talking about the Angeli and him being the number 2 guy, but people not thinking he's going to start next year. Like, I totally agree with it. It's a weird dynamic where, like, apparently I think they feel comfortable with him as the backup, but I don't think he's going to win the job next year as the starter. It's really a weird dichotomy how that's broken up. I don't know. I just don't see him as winning that job next year. I just don't. Like, Deuce or not. I don't know. Craig, 1988. Oh, I get it. 1988. Callers, I'm coming to you. I'm not lying. Craig with the 1988 championship dollar holler. John, I'd call. But the old fashions earlier and high noons now, kind of lit. Keep the faith with Deuce. And then we have CJ Carr, baby. I have 2 comments on this. Number 1, what's the deal with Deuce? I'm just asking. I was assured that Deuce was loose. Everybody said it was going to happen Tuesday. Oh, check your calendars, whatever it's going to be. Everybody told me Deuce was loose. Oh, my main man, Martinez. What's up, baby? That I was told he was gone. Just forget about it, John, or whatever. It was going to be Tuesday. Everybody said it, whatever. And now it didn't happen. Then that article, Roberts wrote that article that came out yesterday saying, like, maybe we're putting the brakes on making any decisions, and the timelines weren't lining up or whatever we weren't comfortable with. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I know I'm not going to sit here and act like I do when I don't. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you guys as if I know what's going to happen or I have inside information. I don't have the answer. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the current status is. I have no idea. And then with Carr, here's what it makes me think of. Then we're going to the calls. A part of me wonders if we're underestimating CJ Carr, because once we got our eyes on that shiny toy known as Deuce, that's kind of where our minds went, right? Like, that's kind of where our minds went. It turned into all this Deuce, and I feel like Carr kind of like got second fiddle treatment, or like he wasn't being talked about the same way. And so I just don't know if we're underestimating what CJ Carr could be, because once Deuce became a thing, all of our attention went to him. And so I don't know. I don't know if we're not being fair to what CJ Carr could be or whatever, because I got excited about Deuce's skill set, which is so unique and rare. I don't know that. But I'm excited to see more of what CJ could do. Craig, you could just sit back and listen, man. You don't have to call in today. You support me in all sorts of different ways. And I sincerely love you and your family for it, man. You're one of my longtime guys. $5 holler from Xander Cruz. Good to see you here. Send Dave's Hot Chicken to 7722 Rosita Boulevard, apartment 102. Did you accidentally text your Dare Dash order, whatever it's called, DoorDash? John, you gave CJ Carr the secondhand attention. I'm not saying I didn't, because Deuce Knight has a different skill set that Notre Dame doesn't get. CJ's skill set is a lot more similar to a lot of other Notre Dame quarterbacks that have come and gone. Deuce Knight's is not. So there is a reason why I do look at those differently. I wanted the kind of athlete we never get walking through the door, and that's Deuce. I've seen Notre Dame quarterbacks with CJ Carr's similar skill set. And I didn't mean to ask that question like you fans. I'm including myself in this. So I don't want it to come off that way. I'm asking myself the same question. When I lay down at night, I'm going, bro, am I underselling what CJ Carr could be for Notre Dame because I'm looking at Deuce's athleticism and I got my little Irish heart wrapped into wanting to see that? I don't know. So, but I'm including myself in that. I'm including myself in that. 202, what do you want to do? It has been a while. How are you, my friend?
Johnny, what's up? Happy Saturday.
Oh my gosh. May 17th is the last time I'm showing that you called. It's been a long summer, and now we are 3 weeks away, and I would love to know what is on your mind. Are you enjoying the Olympics? Are you thinking about football more or less? Or are you waiting until it arrives? I would like to know what's going on with you.
Today, track and field, the American women crushing the world. I am beyond pumped. And so now all I can look forward to, all I can see is August 31st in College Station.
Yeah.
Suck it, Elko.
Yeah.
Because the Irish are coming.
It is a big moment. And I've been.
And I'm not scared. And I'm not scared. And our boys aren't scared.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to go how Elko wants it to go.
Man, it's a big moment. And you know what I've been debating with people the last few days? Some people value A&M's roster and the athleticism a lot more than others do. But what I've been saying is, even if you don't value their roster, you don't think A&M's going to be a very good team week one when we play them. You gotta value the moment, and the moment that Notre Dame is positioned in with the recruiting anxiety, year 3 of the Freeman era, with all the year 3 history of coaches at Notre Dame and what that means, it doesn't mean. This is a big moment for Freeman and for Notre Dame, and it feels like the next big moment for Notre Dame to prove they could be something different and really make people look at them in a different way. I'm here for it.
It fully is that moment. And we're going to meet it. We're not screwing around, and we've got an OC who knows what's up, and our entire offense knows that he knows what's up. And so this ain't going to be Miami 2018, where as soon as I saw, and I love him so much, I will always love him, but as soon as I saw Brandon Wimbush's eyes in the tunnel, coming out from Miami, I knew it was over.
Yeah, this needs to have a different feel.
And it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
He knew that the game plan was completely screwed. And he knew that he was not going to be put in a position to win. And that is not going to effing happen on August.
It's really interesting.
Denbrock is not going to let it happen.
Okay, that's what I want to ask you. Okay, we already have a really good feeling. We know we have a really solid defense. We believe that. And it's year 3 of Al Golden. Really good blend of old and young talent blending on that defense. I think we could rely on them to be really good right away. I want to ask you about that offense. Are you have no concern about, like, right away you think you're going to see a big difference from that Denbrock offense right away? You don't think it's going to take a few weeks for them to hit their stride with Riley Leonard get caught up with no spring ball and all the new moving pieces and parts? Are you that confident we're going to see that big of a difference from the Mike Denbrock offense week 1? I hope you are. I'm just asking, do you think we're expecting too much for it to look that much more exciting right out of the gate? Or do you think, hey, we're paying you $2.1 million, number 1 in the country for a reason. Come in here and run a good offense against this athletic defense?
I'm not concerned at all, because it's not just $2.1 million. It's the fact that you've got a quarterback who truly does have legs, and we've seen it on tape now. That his legs are 100%, and he ain't scared. And this is a different situation. And I have 4 words for you, my love, Johnny. Jeremiah Love, Darian Price.
Oh, I like it. I like that a lot.
If things start going sideways?
You know what's funny about that?
Boys.
It's like you're in my head. I swear, like 4 hours ago, I was sitting at the table looking out the window at the leaves changing on this tree. And this idea came to me to write an article. And you know what it was about? The article was about how much I think J.D. Price is going to benefit from the fact that everybody's making a big deal about how good Love is going to be, and that could actually benefit Price because it's going to give him opportunities because Love's going to get a lot of the attention, and how the year after you recover from the leg injuries, the year where you get your burst back, not the first year you're back, and it all lines up for JD Price to be have a really, really productive, exciting year. I am right there with you. I love it. I'm with you on this.
Look, it's pick your poison. It's pick your poison with those two boys. It's pick your poison, and they know that there's enough love and enough snaps to go around that they're not going to be jerky about it. And I know we've got Jaden Thomas, love him forever. We've got Micah Gilbert. We got KK Smith. I think Jordan Faison is still going to be that dude because he is so shifty.
Yep.
He just won a freaking lacrosse championship, and we've seen that boy. He has got the balance of Mikhail Baryshnikov on that field.
Listen.
I'm not worried.
You know what?
Options.
You know what you can't. I just wrote an article about this too. You're in my head. I love it. Well, that might be bad for you, but I'm taking it as a compliment for me, but it might be bad for you. I literally wrote about this too. You can't teach Faison's greatest asset. No one could teach it. And you know what it is? It's just the guy has a knack to make plays. And you don't teach teach that. You don't learn that. You can't have it coached into you. He just has a way about him to be where you need to be able to just make things happen. And you can't really teach that. Some guys just have that ability, and he's one of them. So I don't care if he's playing lacrosse or fencing or checkers or anything else. Just find ways to get open. Just keep finding ways to get open, son.
I mean, you can a little bit teach that. You teach that 16 years on the lacrosse field, and football has its own magic and its own rhythm. But when you are somebody who can change direction on a dime like that, who can flip his hips like that, who can literally spin multiple times like that, dude, it's over. Yeah. And then, KVA, listening to Dylan McCullough talk about that dude today, I'm like, oh my God, bring it.
I'm telling you. Well, all right, listen, oh, I don't want to do this because it's really not going to be fair to KVA. But you start thinking Manti vibes with the coming in ready. I love Manti. Yeah, coming in ready to play right away physically, having the instincts to be able to handle it right away young. The cultural background and how important family values are, the whole thing that Manti had, this guy has too. He looks like that dude. I don't want to put that pressure on him being so young. And I really don't know what kind of role he's going to have this year. But if he's that athletic, they're going to have to find a way to play him.
He's playing.
You're going to have to find a way.
It's done.
Like, how do you keep that guy off the field if he's all those things?
And I think net year 3, he's gonna end up being better than Manti.
Oh man!
And I say that with full love.
I'm telling you, Goolsby's my guy KVA for linebacker play. Different. I go to Goolsby for linebacker play, and he goes, "John, this guy could just do it all. You just put him out there in the middle and let him just do it all, sideline to sideline. Just he sees it all, he reads it all. He could physically do it all. Just get out of his way and just let him do it. Just get out of his way and let him do it." And I love that. Can I ask you about something on the downside? And I want to see how you respond. I have an obligation. I got to balance it out. I haven't talked to you in many months. I got to balance it out. Am I going to have to do my "don't do this to me" Harry with the O-line on the left side of the line here with the injury? Like, do you have a little anxiety? A&M's got some athletes coming off the edge night 1. How are we feeling about the left side of that offensive line? I don't want to have to cue the "don't do it to me" Harry. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it.
Well, it wouldn't be Harry. I mean, look, Landau, everyone loves him. Seems like he's doing an awesome job. I'm not understanding how someone rips their pec on day 1, but whatever. I'm very, very sad for Jagasaw. I'm also kind of worried for Jagasaw. He's practically never played here. Like, I'm pretty sure the bowl game ever. So just put a pin in that. But I mean, at a minimum, you've got Tosh Baker, who is at least a vet and is smart enough to see things happening. None of this is ideal. I think Rudolph, for now, can make it work.
Yeah.
But this has to be the end.
But yeah, and here's how I look at it. Tell me if you agree. Night 1, week 1, game 1. I don't expect that line to be perfect. I don't expect it all to be like all put together and smooth. I don't need any of that. I just need you to be good enough to get the win. Then things could calm down and you could settle in and start gelling and getting some more of that going on against Northern and Purdue and Miami, Ohio, whatever. I don't need you to be a perfect O-line by any means right out of the gate. You just need to be good enough for no catastrophes and to just do enough to allow us to settle in and win that game. And then you could figure the rest out from there. I don't expect it perfect. You just got to do enough. Do enough.
Look, I think this is another thing of if you're going to play A&M with an Elko as a head coach, the first game is the game to do it.
Yeah.
There's a thing about football, which is, good for you if you can run super fast, but it doesn't do you any good if you're running super fast in the wrong direction. And I think that is where the rubber hits the road with that team. I'm kind of, frankly, John, I think maybe you are too. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed at our schedule this year. I can't even, it is so not what I grew up with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment.
And you know what else?
Whatever.
A lot of it, you know what I'm starting to see a lot of complaints about, and you'll relate to this as an alum. A lot of people are starting to not like the home slates, man. A lot of season ticket holders pay a lot of money, and you get like one home game you really want to see, and then maybe
Illinois and Central.
Yeah, well, and you got Miami, Ohio, like in Northern. It's really rough. A lot of people are starting to complain, the season ticket holders, about the quality of the home slate.
This is not what we grew up with.
Yeah.
I grew up with, do you know what my first home game was? You know what my first Notre Dame game as an actual student was, John?
What was it? A Big Ten game.
Michigan,
I'm guessing. Yeah, I knew. I was going to say
Michigan.
It had to be a Big Ten game. Yep.
Michigan.
Yeah, it had to be a Big Ten game.
And we won by 2 points. And it was not easy, and it was a real freaking game.
Those schedules used to be
anymore.
Because they wanted to play us before they got into the Big Ten schedule. So it used to be like Michigan. It was like Michigan, Penn State, Purdue, Michigan State. Like we used to play them all early in a row, and then they would get into their Big Ten slate.
Penn State was always late October. But no, that was my first game as a Notre Dame student.
Let me ask you this.
You know why? Because we're not afraid of you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why. How do you suspect USC is going to fare moving into the Big Ten? I really want your opinion on that. Oh, listen to you. I want your opinion on that. How do you think they're going to handle that transition?
Not well. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. No, I mean, I can't even talk about what is charitably called the realignment of college football. It's all hideous and disgusting.
Yeah,
they're not going to do awesome. I can't care about it. I love that they're playing good cop, bad cop, trying to get out of the Notre Dame series.
Yeah, they are.
Buddy, if they cancel that series,
yeah, I know.
We win forever.
It's a weak look.
We won forever.
It's a weak look. Even if Lincoln Riley's technically correct at Big Ten Media Day by addressing that their path would be easier to a title without us on it, it's just weak, man. I don't know. It's
when
just
has
weak.
that ever been an honorable argument?
Roger Dodger said.
Ever been an honorable?
Roger Dodger, my resident USC fan, he says USC will dominate the Big Ten. Oh, buddy, people are going to highlight that comment, Roger Dodger. People are going to highlight that comment, and then of course, don't forget.
done awesome. Yeah,
Hey.
USC has done awesome in Notre Dame Stadium recently.
Don't forget, they also start out against Brian Kelly, too. So that's going to be really interesting week 1 in Las Vegas. You got LSU and USC. That's going to be a great start.
In Vegas.
Woo!
Is that not the most perfect?
Oh, it is perfect.
Modern football.
Yeah, exactly. It is. And listen, I got to tell you, it's been really nice touching base with you. Do you think you're going to be able to make it to the tailgate? It's going to be the Miami, Ohio week.
I know. I'm still looking at it, but listen, so we're all Notre Dame fans, but if I could zoom out for a moment, because, America, Olympics, here's something that you will never hear NBC talk about. Closing ceremonies tomorrow, right? August 11th, 2024.
Yeah, we got
so August 11th.
We got
2024.
Snoop out there. I know Snoop's a part of it. I want to see him sea-walk in the Olympics.
The United States liberated Paris from the Nazis on August 19th, 1944.
Look at you with the good history lesson.
Almost 80 years ago.
It's a good history lesson.
The United States liberated Paris from Nazi oppression. Hashtag just saying.
It all comes back around. Very interesting. I can always count on you to make my brain work. Hey, thanks for touching base. Thank you for the donation. It's really good to talk to you again. It's been a while.
Go Irish. Bye-bye, guys.
Have a good one. I don't know. I like talking to her. 419 on the line, and then I got Pistol Pete. I got my 469. I got my 301. 419, you're up on the line. Thanks for the donation. First and foremost, what is up? Hello, are you there?
What we doing, Jay?
Oh, what's going down? Thank you for the donation, first of all, and I'd like to know what's on your mind. We only got 3 weeks to go, and we're going to get answers to some of these questions regarding football.
Hey, bro, we just talking football. No recruiting, no nothing.
Oh.
We ready to get the smacking helmet and getting ready to crack heads.
Oh, I like it.
I like it.
Oh, I like the sound of them cracking the heads.
Yeah,
buddy.
My car dropped last week, but we on tonight.
Talk to me. What do you got? What's in your mind? Talk to me. Let it rip.
Nothing, man. You know what? Nothing. I just got faith in this team. We about to get in these playoffs, and we about to move some people around. We about to move some bodies, man.
All right. Now, I gotta ask you. Man. I gotta ask you this. I would like to know. Give me your confidence level for Notre Dame marching into steamy Texas and facing off with Texas A&M week 1. I want to know your confidence level in our boys. How good do you feel about Notre Dame's chances in that one? Talk to me.
Man, we only got one person we worried about. That's Tosh Baker. Give him some help, and we good. On that left side, give him some help.
Give him a little chip, maybe a little chip help over there a little bit on the blind side.
A little chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little chip. Man, we good, man. Everything else we covered. All these people that they ready to hate on Notre Dame, and I'm so tired of ESPN like giving us props. I'm like, man, I don't like y'all. I'm tired of y'all fake stuff. No, I'm gonna stick to the fans that I talk to right now, like I'm talking to you. Man, forget TV, because y'all full of it. Y'all want to give our kids stories now and all that. No, we're not doing that. Indeed, we coming. We on our way back. All this stuff y'all talking about Colorado and all that, y'all need, look, Notre Dame on the way back.
Telling you, man.
And we ain't got to do all that grimy stuff y'all doing. We ain't got to do all that grimy stuff y'all doing.
I got to tell you, though, you don't sound like you have a lot of hesitation. You're feeling really confident. And I got to ask you, I feel good about that defense week 1. What about, do you feel similarly about others, about Denbrock? You think you're really going to see a more electric Notre Dame offense, and you're going to be able to see it week 1 right away against A&M? They'll be able to draw up some creative stuff here and maybe open the offense up a little more than we're used to. You think you're not expected too much? Week 1, you're going to get that?
Really, John? You gonna ask me that?
I am going to ask you that.
We had Jared Parker. Come on, man. We can go to our high school teams and do better than what he did last year.
Oh,
come
man.
on. We have better athletes now.
It was
we
struggle.
have better wide receivers now.
That's a good point. I do agree with that. I think there's way more. No. Don't you agree? There's way more skill talent that could open things up for Notre Dame. I feel like there really is more than just like a couple guys that can make a big play for you. I actually agree with that. I think you got multiple tight ends that can do it, multiple backs that can do it. And then I got to still kind of wait and see on those receivers, but you should have some more action there, right?
Yeah. And we're going to be good. You're going to see more wide receivers playing in space, and we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done, man. So I'm not tripping, but my call fell off the last time I talked to you. But that's all I'm on. All I'm saying is go Irish Nation, go John Kennedy. Congratulations to you and your new
thank you.
Your new position.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to say that last week, but I didn't get it off. But look, man, Irish Nation, you ain't no way up, man. Like we got everybody hating on us. Look, we good. And we ain't worried about Deuce Knight. That's cool. If you want to do that, I am worried about Deuce Knight. But hey, if that's what you want to do it. You know what I mean? We're good.
Man,
we're on our way up.
I like your confidence. Let me ask this too. I don't want to skip over this. Riley Leonard, what do you think of this? You think his mobility? I think his mobility is going to be a big part of the A&M game. I really do think it isn't going to be in the number of times he takes off with his legs. I think it's going to be the situations where he takes off with his legs. I think there's going to be like some here where I got a feeling his legs are going to come into play at the right time. And I need that big body at his 6'5" to be diving for some first downs. I can envision it. I can see it coming.
Yeah. I mean, shit, we paid your big ass.
Yeah.
So, and all these video clips that coming out, you 6'5", you 6'4".
Yeah.
You all these video clips coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You better dive for that first down. Better than Hartman did last year against Ohio State.
Oh,
you better do it.
Ooh, that's bitter, man.
You better do it.
He had
you
that.
better do it.
Hey,
I don't care.
Not only did he have that play, but then he had the play in crunch time where he took the ball and ran the wrong way on the handoff. He circled the wrong way, and that's our 6th-year guy.
He didn't hand it off.
It's like our 6th-year guy, and he's making mistakes a freshman makes out there, man.
Bro,
come on.
Bro, I'm with you. But if we paying your big ass, hey, get out there and get that first down. I don't want to hear nothing about your ankle no more.
Yeah.
It's over with.
Yeah, the ankle that we caused the problem with, by the way. All roads start and end with Notre Dame.
Howard Cross.
You know what I'm saying?
Howard Cross folded him up, and then now he's on our team.
Yeah, it's the most Notre Dame thing in the world that like we hurt the guy, and then it comes back to be our problem. It would only happen to Notre Dame, man. Like only Notre Dame. It's just like, dude, like we hurt our own quarterback. Like only Notre Dame. Like that's just the way it goes. Oh,
it better work. But dude, John, I could talk to you all night. But I want to get to other callers.
I like the energy.
I want to say is I love your show.
Thank you, man.
I love Notre Dame.
Thank you.
And look, we about to go out here and beat these Texas A&M boys out in their heat. We about to spank them. And y'all be cool, relax. And then we go take it from there. If Deuce want to decommit, recommit, okay, come on back, young man. Because Auburn ain't shit. So I ain't worried about Auburn. Man, I ain't worried about them at all.
I gotta tell you, I like your energy. Thanks for donating. I like your confidence. And thanks for the kind words, man. Really means a lot to me. Thanks for calling on a Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay?
All right, y'all too, man. Go Irish, man. Go Irish Nation, man.
Have a good
one.
Always
Irish.
Oh, yeah. Man, I like We got some good callers here. But of course, what am I going to not like the callers that are like, John, you're cool? Like, of course I'm going to say I like the callers when they're like, John, you're cool. Like, whatever. All right, we're going to go to Pistol Pete next. And I got a 469 and a 301 are going to be the next ones up. Pretty good pace here with the call situation, trying to get things going. Dude, I'm not going to lie, Jay Carr. I do like it when people are like, oh, John, you're cool and I like you. Like, yeah, I do like that. It's actually kind of nice. $10 holler from the local source. What's up, Johnny? What's the word on the QB for A&M? Haven't heard much about him. Our D-line should be able to get pressure. Will our elite DBs have a field day? Okay. So what are you looking at? You're looking at Connor Wegman, who I think A&M felt really, really good about until he went down with the injury. What? Early last year? I don't even think it was the middle of the year. I think it was very. So now you have Connor Wegman coming back as, rehabilitated, coming back. And then you got to add in, Adam says, John, you're weird. Yeah, no kidding. Obviously, Adam. That's half the reason I think anybody finds me interesting at all. Is just because I'm a weird guy. I don't act like I'm a normal person. So you have Connor Wegman coming off the injury. They feel pretty good about it. But then here's the part I wanted to bring up before I go to the Pistol Pete. The other part I wanted to bring up is Colin Klein coming over and installing a new offense and doing all this stuff. And I saw A&M's defensive players talking about how tricky it is to defend the offense because Colin Klein's trying to do all this stuff that makes the defense freeze and you don't know where it's going and who to guard or defend, and we're in a zone, we're doing it. So I don't know what to expect. I think they want Connor Wegman to be good, but he's coming off the injury. Then you're wrapping that into also learning this new offense. And so I don't know. I don't know what to expect from that. I genuinely don't know what to expect from that. Irish Steel says, I'm in a tuxedo. What are you at a wedding and you're calling me from you're watching from the reception? What is the deal? What are we doing? Pistol Pete, what's going on, buddy?
That's right.
Oh, that's a juicy one. Pistol Pete, that's a good one. Pete, I got to tell you, man, it's good to hear from you. I know you live and die and breathe Notre Dame every single day of your life. I know how much it means to you. We're 3 weeks out, and I would love to know what's on your mind, Pistol. Tell me what's on your mind, my friend.
I'm getting excited just like you are. And actually, I thought of something today in my brain. John, I mean, you've been a Notre Dame fan for 40 years now.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with 3 people, Notre Dame-wise, living or dead, who would your 3 be? I bet I can guess one of them.
Just give me the one. I don't need it. Okay, how about give me Frank and Era? Can I have Frank, Era, and Newt? Can I just do that? Give me Frank and Era. Yeah. I want dinner with Frank and Era and Rockney. And I just think I'll be a happy person. Can I just have that? That's somebody, Pete, somebody wrote in Frank, Brian Kelly, and BVG. I don't think so. We're not going there.
No.
Yeah. Give me those guys. Give me. That's what I want. I will go with, give me that group of, I want Era, Frank, and Rockney. I think that would be good. Pete, you're always a good question asker with Notre Dame. I appreciate it. And Nick Shepkowski, good to see you here. Yeah, he's getting articles. He's getting an article idea. Jerry Reinsdorf's burner says, John would love to eat dinner with me. No, I wouldn't, Jerry. Breathing all your cigar smoke in my face and whatnot, refusing to make your team competitive. No, thanks, not interested. Pete, 3 weeks out. What's your confidence level for Notre Dame traveling to A&M? I genuinely want, and I know you think about this game every day. Tell me, what is your confidence level going down there?
Well, I think you probably would share this, and a lot of Notre Dame fans too. I feel good about our defense. My biggest concern is now the left tackle position playing in, because the strength of A&M, it sounds like, is their defensive front. So, and like you said, if we can't block, then that, You're afraid of Riley getting hit on his blind side, which I agree with you. And the running game struggles then if the line doesn't play well.
Yeah. And now, you know what I do want to bring up, Pete, and I do think this is very, very fair. And I thought about it the last few days. I really, really want Tosh Baker to play well. He had every opportunity, Pete. He's been in the program a handful of years. He's been around a long time. Freeman had to sit down and have some really tough discussions with him because he lost that starting job to Emil Wagner. After so many years in the program, he lost that job to Emil Wagner, and Rudolph and Freeman and Denbrock, they had to have that conversation with him, telling him he lost that job or the inside track at the starting job there. And that's a guy that could have left, man, or he could just be done with Notre Dame or check out or whatever, but he wants to battle and he wants to stay at Notre Dame and earn whatever snaps he could get. I respect the heck out of that, Pete. And because of that, I want to see the guy succeed. It's just when you're the left tackle, you can't have a catastrophic mistake because it could ruin the whole year if your quarterback gets blindsided. I just can't have.
Agreed.
It's the one spot where a catastrophic mistake could end the year if you don't protect your quarterback's blind side and a guy does a move on you and he just crushes your quarterback. You can't have it, and it causes me anxiety.
I can understand that, John.
So
it's a concern.
It is a concern. And then, Pete, you know how I think about it. I'm always worried about something in Notre Dame land. I've been asking people this, and I'd like to know your thoughts as well. Are we over-expecting Denbrock to deliver this more exciting, more active Notre Dame offense we want to see? Maybe a quicker pace, get more wide receivers involved, using more of the field, being more creative with what you're doing and when and where. Are we expecting too much, or do you look at it as, hey, you're paying this guy $2.1 million, number one paid coordinator in the country. Come in here and make that offense look more electric right away. What are your expectations of the Denbrock offensive era the third time around?
I think he's going to do well. I mean, I don't know that it'll be right out of the gate in the first game, but I like that it sounds like, you could have 6 different receivers that are going to be playing. The running back room obviously is great. The tight ends are great for us, especially now. And I heard your top 5 offensive weapons. You put 2 tight ends in that group.
Pete, think about it. If you got a 6'5" healthy Evans and you got a 6'6" healthy Eli Raridan, imagine third and medium. Imagine the red zone. Imagine any of those scenarios where you have 2 athletes that are healthy and that size. I like that. And if you have those guys to worry about, and you have multiple backs that could burn you, and then if you could get some more production on this reconfigured wide receiver room, now we're off to the races, Pete. That's the kind of offense I've been asking for. I like the way that sets up.
I do too. And you'll have a more mobile quarterback this year in Riley Leonard too, for where he could run for a first down.
I'm telling you, Pete, that's a big deal. I think that is going to be such a key, and not only on planned keepers or RPOs, but there's going to be so many plays where it just doesn't go right. The protection maybe breaks down, or a defender makes a good play, breaks through the line. Him being able to move away from trouble or step up in the pocket or tuck it and run with that big 6'5" frame, 2 strides for him is about 6 yards covered on the field when you're that size. I really think that could open up this offense and save us in some tricky spots. Maybe even night 1, week 1.
Yeah. Plus, on plays where nobody's getting open and he gets through the pass rush, you can pick up, he can run for 8 yards on a 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
And get the first down and move the chains.
Yeah. I just think there's really a lot to like here, but there are a couple of the concerns. The left side of that offensive line is going to be a concern to me until I'm proven that it doesn't need to be. And I just think that is the most fair way to handle this, Pete. Like I'm going to be a little concerned about the left side of the line till I'm proven that I don't have to be. Robert says, John, I hope we are ready for 9-3. 9-3 would be an absolute disaster, unacceptable nightmare year with this schedule. If you go and this roster, if you go 9-3, there's real problems. Nobody's here for that. That would be a disaster for everybody involved, top to bottom, period.
I think, well, since we haven't seen one yet on one of your shows, this would be a good Judge Johnny case with now all them bringing all the stuff out about Michigan right now. We should bring Judge Johnny to be the head man on that case. I'm
telling you, I'm ready to rule, Pete. I'm ready to rule. You can play the Judge Judy introduction. I'm ready to rule. Did you see that they named Jim Harbaugh the honorary captain for the first game at the Big House? They named Jim Harbaugh in the middle of all these allegations and investigations and everything. They named him an honorary captain. It is just the ultimate insult to sportsmanship and class, and it's right up Michigan's alley. It's beautiful.
That's a sign of them thumbing their nose at the NCAA, which
they love to do.
The NCAA is a joke.
Yeah, you know what, Pete? That's the other thing. I don't like it, but you are right. They are a. I do agree with you. They are a joke. I just don't like seeing Michigan be the one to kind of flaunt it in their faces. So Pete, I don't know, man. I feel really good about this defense. I think they're going to be ready for the moment. I just have a couple of concerns on that offense, starting with the line. And then I'm just not sure how quickly we can expect to see a really dynamic offense. How long is it going to take before everything Denbrock wants to run starts to set in and take hold? I'm just not sure how much of that you're going to get week one. And if you do, I'll be very impressed. Very.
Absolutely. And well, think about stuff we've talked about before too, with now you having the position at Sports Illustrated for if Notre Dame plays LSU in the playoff game in South Bend, you'll have a press pass to where you can ask Kelly a question then, correct?
Oh my gosh. If that actually happened, I would be 100% more interested in being in the LSU media room than on the Notre Dame side. 100%. Not even close. I would be so much more entertaining for me to be on the LSU side of the media thing to ask questions. You're right about that, Pete. And Pete, they've been asking these questions. And I've seen some of these hypotheticals saying what would be the biggest matchup for Notre Dame in the playoff. And everyone's saying Notre Dame LSU at Notre Dame Stadium would just break every record for media, everything. It would just be absolutely outrageous. It would just be absolutely out of control.
Now, would you be at that game, John?
If it was something like that, I think I would need to find a way to be there and then figure out a way to record afterwards. Go to somebody's house who could host me. I'll drive. I would have to figure something out because I need to be there. I would need to be there for that. There's no way I would miss that situation. Pete, I love this, man. I appreciate you calling the last couple Saturday night shows. What do you got on the way out, man? 3 more weeks. 3 more.
Yes. Well, and I'll still say to anybody who has not been in any of John's tailgates, be there this year and be there on the Friday, like you said too, John. I mean, just got to know where to go. So
yeah,
I want to be there.
Yeah, we're gonna have ourselves some fun the weekend. Anybody that's in town, if you're in town Friday too, we'll have people by the house. We're gonna have some pizza and beer, nothing fancy. Come and go. I want everybody to be able to come and go. No pressure. Don't bring nothing. I just want to be with the people, man. Come have a beer. Come have a piece of pizza. Stay for a while. Stay for a long time. Whatever you want to do. Maybe I'll have to crank up some tunes, cut some rugs, Pete. You never know. I might have to get dancing. Who knows? It could get wild on a Friday. You never know, Pete. You never know what I'm up to, buddy.
Is it okay if I bring some desserts too, John?
You can bring whatever you want, Pete. Have a good weekend, buddy. Thanks for the call. See ya.
Yeah, right.
Good. You got to get it gravelly. That's right. Oh, boy. Let's keep it moving. I like the flow tonight. 469, you're up on the line. What's going on?
Hey, John, my favorite screaming banshee of the Notre Dame fan base.
I think I'm just going to take that as a compliment, being called a screaming banshee. But in this regard, I think it's a compliment, and I appreciate you joining us on a Saturday night. What's on your mind, my friend?
Oh, it absolutely is a compliment, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm thankful you took it that way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just kind of like a leprechaun. That's like my alter ego on the air, like the leprechaun from the movies. Kind of fits me. I like it.
It's you at your most authentic self, I believe, in my opinion.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Also, people think you sound like John Gruden. There's a couple people commenting that they think you sound like John Gruden. So that's a compliment to you. Yeah, that Y Spider 2. What is it? The Y Spider 2 banana, right?
Alrighty then.
So what's on your mind, my friend? Let me know. What are you thinking? What's on your mind? What you got?
I have a few things on my mind.
Okay.
First, I want to start with a complaint about the portion of the fan base that doesn't matter what happens, positive or negative, they always seem to want to bend things in a negative way. Notre Dame wins the game. Oh, that's just, they got lucky, whatever, they always want to find something negative to point to. Marcus Freeman isn't the right coach. You're going to see he's going to fail. They get a recruiting win. Oh, that was just an offensive lineman. Whatever it is, there's always something that's pointed to as far as how Notre Dame just isn't good enough. They're never going to be good enough, and never recognizing that there's nuance to all of this. There's a difference between what things, as far as the way things were going on when Brian Kelly was the head coach compared to Marcus Freeman as a head coach, and those fans that always want to be negative and fail to recognize the nuances as far as the differences. I get real tired of hearing the opinions and the complaints, and at some point it's like, maybe you just need to find another team. I mean, if it's that bad, if it's always negative, if there's nothing ever going well, why not find another team?
All right. Now let's go through okay. This is a good, healthy discussion. And I live this every single day doing these morning shows and whatever and riding this wave. Here's what I think you have, man. A lot of these people love Notre Dame. A lot of them are on my show every single day consuming Notre Dame content. They love Notre Dame. It is in their heart. It is in their soul. It is in their family. They love Notre Dame. I genuinely believe a lot of these people have been so hurt for so many years in a row and been let down for so many decades in a row. If you're my age, you're 40, you never remember what it was like for us to be truly elite and win anything. Like, I feel like a lot of these people are so hurt, they default to the bad stuff to like kind of protect their feelings so they don't get let down again. So when the next bad thing happens, they're already kind of expected it on the negative end, rather than to get excited and be let down again for the 31st year or whatever. Does that make sense? I think people they're protecting their emotions a little bit. Does that make sense?
It makes sense what you're saying, but my thing, I guess what I'm saying is, then to better protect one's emotions, don't get so high when it's going well. Like, just keep things even keel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just recognize that, it's for the long haul. There's, Notre Dame isn't going to win a national championship at Texas A&M. That game's not playing for everything. So the best thing to do is not pretend like it's playing for everything, you know?
Yeah.
So that can be the beginning of the road to a national championship, but that game, August 31st, is not playing for anything but a win at Texas A&M.
Yeah,
it may feel like a loss. It may feel like a loss is everything. It may feel like if it turns out that way, I don't believe it will myself, but, you know, a game can go any way. If it were to turn out that way, it doesn't mean that's the end of everything. You look at Ohio State, they're in the last national championship. They lost their first game of the season, and everybody wrote them off. And that was back when there was only 2 teams in the playoff.
Yeah. Now you
teams.
Now you got to admit though, life gets a lot harder for Notre Dame if they lose this first game. Like no matter what it looks like, you got to go 11-0 then to guarantee you're making the playoff. I am not certain a 10-2 Notre Dame team with this schedule makes the field. You got to make sure that's the problem. If you lose this one, people are going to be negative because you got to go 11-0, I think, to make sure you make it. And that is asking a lot. You got to go 11-0. So this is a big one, man.
Well, that's the thing is just like the team has to approach it one game at a time, not an entire season at a time. So whatever happens at Texas A&M, you then move on to the next game, whatever the result is, win, lose, you know, what have you. You just move on to the next game. And as long as the team does what it's capable of doing, just go out there and play your best, the coaches go out there and coach your best, you know, then ultimately, you know, you just trust the team to do what it is capable of doing. If it's not good enough at the end of the day, well, then there's nothing you can do other than accept that, you know what, the best wasn't good enough. Or maybe they need to reevaluate and decide, you know what, how can we get better so that we are at our best?
Yeah, man, you have like a very reasoned perspective of looking at this. And like, I just think it's going to be hard pressed to ask a lot of people to be that rational and reasonable. And I think I'm including myself in that, man. I think I'm including myself in that. And it's like, dude, it just feels like now's the time for Marcus Freeman, doesn't it? Year 3, you got a good roster. Let's go. It just feels like it's time.
Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately, you hope that the team goes out there and shows that they're a top 10 team.
So wait, let me ask this a different way. Let me ask this from a different approach. How do you feel like the Freeman era is going so far? How do you feel like the Freeman era is trending now that we're sitting here 3 weeks away from the first game? I would love to know. How do you feel like this is all going for him in building out this program and his vision? All of it. How do you feel?
Okay, so this needs to answer that question truthfully, I need to apply a caveat. That the caveat being that Brian Kelly didn't leave the program for Marcus Freeman in as good a spot as was initially thought.
You're correct. That is 100% accurate. That is 100% accurate. That is one thing I push back on is he left the playoff roster. No, he did not. You had huge problems all over that roster, up and down it. That is, you're right about that. So I'll grant you that.
So you had a good culture in place. That's undeniable. So that's a plus for Brian Kelly. He left in place a good culture. But beyond that, the strength and conditioning, he had that in a good spot. But beyond those two things, there was lacking depth. And not just, people often look at wide receiver, but it wasn't just wide receiver. You had safety was a problem and continues to be a problem because of the locker room, the roster that Marcus Freeman inherited. Now, granted, he's been able to overturn and improve the roster other positions that were left in a bad spot, but you can't totally put it on Marcus Freeman. Well, he didn't improve the roster. Well, you wasn't exactly given the best roster upon which to improve. So, given that, the fact that he was taking over a roster that was deficient in many ways, the fact that he was taking over a program where his starting quarterback, his first year as the head coach, was injured, the fact that he had a backup who really shouldn't have been a backup in a major program like Notre Dame, the fact that he had a coaching turnover, he was having to hire an offensive coordinator within his first 2 years. The fact that he was given an offensive coordinator that wasn't really the guy that he wanted initially, all those things, to me, he's done a damn good job. And I think the fact that he's been able to keep the program from imploding on itself and going like 5-7, which you've seen a lot of major programs when they have a coach come in and face the kind of adversity that Marcus Freeman has faced, they crater. So the fact that it hasn't cratered at a major program like Notre Dame, and I don't care who or what or whatever tries to say, well, the schedule is weak. It doesn't matter. They're playing major teams week in and week out. Every single week, look at Louisville. It's their Super Bowl. So the fact that Notre Dame can ride that schedule and keep the losses to a minimum. Yeah, they don't look good enough in a lot of the games, but they're keeping the losses to a minimum. They're going out there and showing they're a top 10 team. Whether they're looking like a championship team or not, nobody's saying they're a championship team yet, but they're building on that. And Marcus Freeman is the reason why. It's certainly not anybody else.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. This is a big year. For whatever reason, that year 3 is a demarcation point of these Notre Dame coaches historically, of the ones that are going to make it or not. Year 3 is usually a big year for them. Anything else on the way out, man? You haven't called in a long time. I'm glad to have you back. It's been many, many months. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been traveling internationally. Came back to the U.S. A few weeks ago, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, on the way out, I'm just going to say that I predicted Brian Kelly wouldn't last 3 years at LSU. He'll be fired midway through the season at some point at LSU because he's just not good enough, and they're gonna dust his ass and say, "Yeah, you're not right for the SEC. You got your payday. See you later. Bye bye."
Wow.
And then you'll end up with a job in like ESPN or something like that.
Wow, that is a hot take. Hey, man, safe travels while you're driving, okay? Thanks for touching base while you're around. I appreciate you. Safe travels now.
All right, take care.
Take care. That is really interesting. The international and calling from the road while he's doing all that driving. I'm going to tell you this right now. It is apples and oranges, the two jobs. It's a pretty good recruiting class LSU's got building right now. And I'm like, oh, John, you and Kelly don't get along. Yeah, you're right. We don't get along. But I can admit when I see that LSU's building a really good recruiting class there. Oh, so you're saying that he can recruit, blah, blah, blah. We're not turning this into the whole concept that you could golf just as much as you did at Notre Dame and get more out of it when you're recruiting to LSU than Notre Dame. That's the whole point, is that he could put in the same amount of work and get a better recruiting result out of LSU for a million different reasons. That's the point. It isn't about anything else other than that. Brian Kelly's smart for doing this. It was a really good move. He knew there was a limitation to how much he was going to work himself personally into the ground in recruiting. You go here, it sets it up way better. It's really, really a good deal. LSU can recruit itself to a large extent in a way that Notre Dame just can't. And the location to the proximity to the elite talent and the academics, it's all a better fit for him there. Smartest idea Kelly ever did is go there. At least he recognized all this. Robert, which 574 are you? I got a few of them. I got a 301 that's been waiting a long time. Then I can get to you, and you've donated, so it'll be your time. Tell me your next ones after 574. Okay, I'll get you next. And everybody else stay on the line too. 301. Let's have a little fun. And then we'll do Robert and then another 574. 301. What's going on?
What's going on, John? How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. I'm getting excited for football. It's coming up quick, 3 weeks away. Before you know it, I see the NFL's got preseason going. Like, summer went by quick, and we're ready for Notre Dame again. And I am 100% focused on Texas A&M. Notre Dame needs to win that ball game.
Say, man, I feel you on that. I've been a listener for a long time. It was your show about when that guy Morrison wrote that article about changing the name a couple years back. I've been following you since then.
Oh my God, dude. I got to tell you, man, I was seeing stars. I was so furious recording that. I literally couldn't see straight. It was like my vision was blurred. I was so enraged. And then I remember saying, like, who are you gonna offend? Like, leprechauns by calling us the Fighting Irish? Like, I'm like, who are you gonna offend? Like, a leprechaun? Give me a break.
I didn't know who you were at the time, and when I saw that, it literally hit because I saw the article and then I saw your post of it, and I've been a follower of yours ever since, and big fan. I love everything you're doing, man.
Thank you, man. Listen, I don't always know that I have the right idea, but I know that whatever I put out, I really believe it, and I don't hold back. And like, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but like, I just go for it. So it's man, it's a wild world when you live in a Notre Dame life. Like, dude, it's always something in Notre Dame land, man. Always something.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate your takes. I think in terms of this year, I do think the number one thing is the offensive line. I think right now, Pat Coogan was repping with center today. I think he's going to be kind of a swingman. My hope is Rocco Spindler slides into that guard spot. I think that in A&M, their defensive front is going to be the hardest part of that game. And I think we need to have our biggest, strongest bodies, most talented bodies. And we're banged up already there. So we just need to get our best guys, our best five out there.
Yeah, man, here's the thing. The way I'm looking at it is you really can't make a mistake. Like with whatever you're going to do to run out there against A&M, it's kind of got to be good enough, right? Like, there's no leeway for you to realize too late this isn't going to work. Like, that's the pressure I'm feeling is it's got to be good enough week one. This is not Northern Illinois week one where you have leeway and margin for error and you could not play great and still win. You don't have that. Like, whatever Rudolph goes with and they roll out there, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to be damn good enough week one to win. That's what I'm saying.
It kind of reminds me a little bit when Marcus Freeman had that first bowl game where he took over against Oklahoma State. I almost feel like we can have a first half similar to that. And my hope is that we have the coordinators this time to make the halftime adjustments when the other team makes the adjustments, because that's how we lost that game. But I do think we have the ability to just jump on them really quick.
Well, here's what's interesting about that. That's really interesting. You're talking about jumping on them quick. I've been thinking about this. Texas A&M's hosting this game. The place is already known as one of the most toughest environments to go in as a visiting team and try and win a football game. Then you have all the energy of having a new coach and hope is renewed. The same thing we went through with Marcus, that year one excitement. They are going to be fired up. And it is on Notre Dame to withstand that early emotional burst with a couple good plays, get a 3-and-out on defense, or put together a long drive to shut them up. Like, that is going to be an intense part of the game right when they start, because they're going to be fired up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the biggest thing on offense, right, especially if we're worried about the offensive line, is doing a lot of quick game, because I think they're going to assume it's Denbrock, but it's still Notre Dame. They're going to try to run the football. I think if we do a lot of things to get them to over pursue or misdirection, and we have a lot of speed now, and we can stretch them horizontally to get the defense to kind of go side to side. And then we also have the deep threat now, show that early that you have to respect that. And then we can start running the ball and getting to a rhythm.
Yeah, it's really what's really interesting to me is I want to see this Denbrock offense use all of the field. Too many times Notre Dame plays, especially in these big games, they play in a little box. I want to see Notre Dame's offense stretch the field 52 yards across. I want to see them make a defense have to honor everything. We could get behind you. We could go sideline to sideline. We're not afraid to mix up what we're doing. I really, really want to see Denbrock have some creativity and vision with this offense. And I'm not saying to get cute and avoid a power run game and all that stuff. I'm just saying pick your spots to mix in some livelier new action here. I think it'll do us all some good.
And that's kind of like you were talking to somebody earlier about how long is it going to take for this offense to click. I think the biggest thing is this year we have so many more weapons than we typically have, or we have more weapons in different positions or different skill sets, the diversity of skill sets. I think what's going to be the biggest question is how long does it take Denbrock to figure out how to utilize all those skill sets in a way to keep the game flow happening. Because you have you have face on, you have, Great House, they're both slots, but both of them you can move all around and they have different skills, even though they play technically the same position. You have two great tight ends. How are you going to mix them up?
Yep.
And then, we even have Bauman you can slide in, or Sherwood if you needed to put in an extra blocker. Like, do you have all these weapons? How are you going to use that arsenal? And then knowing when and how, I think that's going to be how long does it take Denbrock to get into that rhythm is going to be the biggest question mark.
Yep. And one of his biggest attributes has been, and it was last year, is good at finding mismatches for his guys, good at finding vulnerabilities in a defense you can exploit, good at figuring out we got a guy and this linebacker can't hang with them, we're running him that way. And I feel like that's been missing from Notre Dame's offense is really trying to find ways to get your athletes the ball with the chance to cook. And I just think that's what we are having Denbrock come in here for. And I think you have more athletes to be able to do that with. Let's go. Crank it up.
And I think when we played Ohio State in those games, we also coach very scared where we're just going to try to ball control the entire time.
I'm telling you, that's a trend. And it even, I'm going to say this, Kelly era for sure, but it bled into the Freeman era. Tell me if you feel this, because I genuinely did. It felt like the bigger the game was, the more scared Notre Dame called their offense. And if we played a lower level team, they had more fun with it and let the receivers do stuff or whatever. And then it felt like the bigger the moment, the tighter they played and the more scared. And in a little box where everything was just really predictable and boring and straightforward. Am I dreaming that, or did you feel that too?
No, but I'm going to frame this with, I love Freeman. I think Freeman's the guy. I have full faith in Freeman. I think he's just a great human being, everything he stands for. But I do think defensive coaches in general tend to be more conservative when they're head coaches. I also think when he played for Jim Tressel at Ohio State, the time period they had a much more conservative offense too. It's not the Ohio State that we know now.
Oh, that's a really interesting. That's interesting. Going all the way back to what the coaching that's in his DNA from all the way back then has to do. That's a very interesting angle. I like that by you.
Yeah, I think his DNA is that old school, tough it out. He wants to be an O-line, D-line team, which I 100% agree, but I think it's almost to a fault sometimes.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. But you got to listen. You got to feel pretty good right now. Is Freeman's a bright guy. It is totally reasonable to expect him to be learning more as we go here. Now you're in year 3. You should be better at this than year 1 or 2, whatever. You got to believe that. And then these coordinators, how big of a difference could that make in a year that you have 2 of these guys on each side of the ball that are older dudes that have no ego? They're there to support Freeman. They know what they're doing. Man, you got to feel pretty good as a Notre Dame fan with Al Golden on one side and Denbrock on the other. I feel like Notre Dame should be in pretty darn good hands to be able to take care of business this year. And if not, I don't know who else you could hire that would be looking at that staff.
and that's why I think he will be open to take the risk this year, because when you have, Tommy Rees, it wasn't quite his pick, but last year, because of the OC situation, I don't think he was open to take the risk. Now you have a veteran person, kind of like, as Goolsby says, the gray hair effect.
Yeah.
I think he's going to kind of lean into his, experience a little bit more, and listen to Denbrock. And if Denbrock says we need to take a shot, I think he is. But don't forget remember when we shut Clemson out and he called the pass play to Mayer, and Pine's over there looking at the play call, shocked that we're going to throw it at that situation. He does have it in him to kind of give that dagger. I just think when we did Ohio State, he didn't show that same type of risk or whatnot.
Yeah, man. And I do think Denbrock doesn't coach offense scared. And I think that's going to be a big difference. Now, what I'm interested to see is he doesn't coach scared. He's been around too long to coach that way. But what I'm interested to see is how accurate is his perception of understanding what he wants to run and what our guys can accomplish, because those are two different things. I am not going to sit here and tell you we have the offensive skill talent that LSU has up and down their roster. I am not going to tell you that. So then I do want to ask myself, how is that going to look as far as Denbrock accurately reading how frisky he wants to get on offense and trusting that we have the guys that could pull it off and make it happen? I want to see how tightly his vision can be wound into what those guys could actually do. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. My hope is that he knows Notre Dame. This is his third stint, and he's even coached at a team like Cincinnati that doesn't get the same caliber as LSU either, and was successful. So I have full faith he'll be able to assess playbook as necessary.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to watch. And of course, nobody's asking for Notre Dame to give up the desire to want to run the football, and that's been a big part of Notre Dame's DNA forever. And I'm not asking them to give that up or whatever. But I need you to get a little more exciting here and open things up a little more in the modern era. I need you to be both.
And I think we'll see that. And I'm going to go so other callers can get on, but it was just it was great talking with you, and I really appreciate all you're doing.
Oh, hey man, thank you. There's nothing I'd rather do than talk about Notre Dame football and give you guys all a voice. And I'm glad you found me. I'm sorry it had to be when I had an aneurysm on the air, though. Okay.
You're good, man.
Have a good one.
All right, take care.
Have a good one. Hey, give me a call on some of these post-game shows after the game, man. Dial me up, okay?
All right, will do, man.
Have a good one. Telling you, I have some nice callers. I really do. All right, here's what we're going to do. The Crown guy, Robert, he's donated a bunch tonight. We're going to bring him up. And then 616, you've donated as well. So I'm going to make sure I bring you up. Trying to be as fair with this as I can. Always Irish Senior. I'm just glad you guys didn't get hit by that tornado earlier. Cotter, he's busy. He told me he was probably going to be busy until these Saturdays lining up till the game starts. So he's probably with the family having fun. Dr. John, you're living the life, man, on that patio, having a cold drink. Good for you. Always Irish Senior. Again, I'm just glad you guys didn't get blown away by that tornado. But the fact that you're here tells me everything. It must have went around you guys. All right. So we're going to do the 574. And then we're going to do the 616. And then we have a bunch of others around there as well. Trying to get the donators first here. If I missed you and you donated, remind me. 574, what's going on? It's been a while, buddy. It's been a while.
That's right, Johnny. We're back, and we're back with the new season. Let's go.
It has been like 10 months since you've called me, man. What's going on? Anything change in 10 months? What's the word on the streets, bro?
Johnny, the only thing that's changed is now we don't have a left tackle, and it's going to be just a statue waiting there at Texas A&M. How about that?
Tell me, man, am I I am concerned. Do you think the concern level is appropriate? Do you think most people are overdoing it? Or do you think they'll find a way to get through, even if that means leaving a tight end to chip on that side and help a little bit? How big of a deal is it, man?
Johnny,
Tell me. How big of a deal is it?
Bad, Johnny. Our season is absolutely screwed, Johnny. If we lose at Texas A&M, how weak our schedule is, you might as well just bottle the whole thing up and throw it in the trash.
Oh, no.
And we aren't doing it.
No.
And we aren't doing a signing thing like with what we do with Hartman. We aren't going to do that this year.
We're not. John's not going to do that.
We're not going to curse ourselves no more,
dude.
John.
You know what? I kind of feel like it's my fault that the Hartman thing went sideways on us, because I was the one like, oh, we got a quarterback in town. Come to the NIL event sponsored by me, and I built it all up. Everybody needs to go and everything, and then it ended up that he is what he was, and it wasn't good enough. He is what he was, and it wasn't good enough. I don't know what to tell you.
Johnny, that NIL money that you're able to get him, he took that thing and he just went partying for the whole beginning of the season.
Telling you, dude, I needed to make a deal where I get a cut of that money instead of me wandering around the parking lot like, hey, by the way, subscribe to my podcast. And I'm over here making Hartman thousands of dollars hand over fist. Everybody's wives were ready to risk it all to go hang out with Hartman. Like, dude, and here I was in a parking lot going, here's my card, watch my show. I yelled from my basement. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Dude, I know. Like, I was driving home like, man, I got to reevaluate my life. Look what I just did for this guy. And what did I get out of it? A few YouTube subscribers? Oh, man, that's bad.
Oh, Johnny, guess what? We aren't going to have that happen. I think Riley Leonard's going to be a little bit more solid for us, but
I hope so.
How much more? I don't know. I mean, what did he really do at Duke?
Oh, man. Okay, but then
I feel like he had better wide receivers there.
But then you have the argument of like, okay, even if we lost our left tackle, like there's no way you're going to probably tell me that Duke's offensive line was better than what Notre Dame's going to have this year. In the supporting staff, the supporting cast overall, I'd like to think Notre Dame has more athletes than Duke, right? Or do we not think that? I don't know. I would kind of default to that.
They almost beat us. They almost beat us. That was the sad part. So I'm a little worried about Texas A&M. After Texas A&M, I don't know. There's just those random games that Kelly used to make us win, but Freeman we've lost on. So I'm just worried. There's one of those stumbling blocks out there that will lose to somebody we aren't supposed to, like a Marshall or a Stanford, and then we're just depressed.
But, man, I'm telling you, you got to win this one week one. You just got to get it. It is the ultimate, like, tipping point of how this is all going to feel and go for the whole year. If Notre Dame gets by this game, wins by 1, wins by 30, whatever, if they just get a win of any kind, they have the inside track to host a playoff game around Christmas in South Bend. Literally, if they could just win this game by any amount, they have the inside track to be hosting a playoff game. That gives you the leeway to lose one game somewhere else down the road on this lighter schedule and still be able to make it and probably even be able to host a game. You just got to find a way to grind this one out, man. You have to.
Yeah, I mean, my worry is like Texas A&M, I could picture them going 6-6.
Oh, man. I don't know. And you know what I did see, though, of like they had like whatever of their losses last year, most of them were by like 3 points or less or 6 points or less. Like they were in a lot of games, even though they weren't winning them. And the biggest thing that makes me nervous is I feel like their strength is matching up against my biggest fear. Their defensive front against our line is my biggest scary matchup. And that's what we're rolling with right out of the gates. And Kent, I'm not banking on a loss somewhere else. I'm just saying if you win this game, you have one. I'm not banking on one, but I'm saying if you add one, you're still in a good position. I'm not saying I'm banking on it. Give me a break. Sorry about that.
No, you have to prepare for one because, I mean, it is proven the last couple of years we have dropped one that
none of us would ever imagine, ever.
Hey,
like,
that
we
needs
should
to
not have
end.
lost to Stanford.
By the way, that needs to end, right? Like, that needs to be over. Like, if you're
Exactly.
Freeman, haven't you used all of those shots? Like, you're done, bro. You don't get you don't get a Stanford. You don't get another Marshall. You don't get another 10 guys on the field. That all needs to be over. That all needs to be over. There's no more leeway for that. There's no more runway for that. You're done. That's over. We got to tighten the nuts and bolts, man. We got to tighten it up. Tighten it up.
Yeah. 9-3, I picture that season getting hot. 8-4.
What are you talking about?
Like,
what are you talking about?
you're not
9-3,
even sitting on the
8-4.
You never know, Johnny.
No. Who are you to come in here after 10 months of not calling your boy and you're dropping 8-4 and 9-3 on me? Are you trying to make my head pop off my carcass? Are you kidding me? Are you outside your mind? Are you outside your mind? You're coming in here with 8-4, 9-3 talk. You're going to make my head explode.
I'm trying to check your blood pressure, Johnny. I'm trying to see how red you are on the screen. Right now, you're not very red, so I'm pretty proud of you.
Bro.
You've been taking care of yourself in the offseason.
What are you doing to me talking about 8-4? Dude, the only way this team goes 8-4 is if 90 of our starters have a leg that falls off. There's no way with this schedule that team loses 4 games unless every starter is injured on both sides of the ball. There's no way. Are you just saying? You're not really worried about this. You just want to get me riled up. Admit it, right? Come on now.
I mean, I was just trying to test your blood pressure, Johnny. If we go 9-3, my clubs are officially going through the neighbor's window.
Dude, even 10-2. I'm not even going to like 10-2. I'm not even guaranteeing 10-2 gets Notre Dame in the playoff. I don't even like 10-2. You got to be 11-1 or 12-0, man. This needs to be the situation. This needs to be the year. You are 12-0 or you are 11-1 at the worst, and then you're hosting a playoff game in South Bend. That's the only acceptable outcome for this year, is it not? 10-2, you may not even make that playoff depending on what these conferences look like. I think you got to go 11-1 or better. That's where I'm at.
I mean, 10-2, I feel like that's a failure also. Man. I mean, for how much money we spend in NIL, what are you going to, like 10-2?
Well, but here's the thing. It isn't
just a fail.
But it isn't just about the 10-2. It's who would it be too, because this schedule is not nearly as challenging as the last couple in the first 2 of the Freeman era. That's the other problem I have with 10-2 is on this schedule, Notre Dame should not go 10-2 on this schedule. I'm sorry, but no, that's a no for me, dog.
Like, honestly, Texas A&M, this game, it kind of is going to give me shades of 2017 Miami.
Ooh.
And I'm really, really worried about that.
Ooh.
And if that happens, it's just full depression.
Yeah,
we aren't going to learn anything about this team.
Listen, you got to know what you're walking into. You got to know what you're walking into. I mean, this environment cannot surprise you. It is going to be loud. It is going to be chaotic. They're going to be all excited. They have a new coach. Everything's new and they're excited. Like, it's going to be hot. It's going to be loud. You need to know that. You need to be prepared for that. It can't overwhelm you, and you need to play good football anyways. That's what I need you to do.
And I hope it happens, Johnny, because I'm telling you what, I don't think this fan base can take dropping the opener like that, along with the woes we have with recruiting.
Bro, could you imagine my phone lines, bro? Could you imagine my phone lines on August 31st if we lose that ball game? Can you imagine what this night call-in show is going to be like after that game? Can you even imagine, dude? I don't even want to think about it, bro. I don't even want to think about it. There's going to be
I'm going to be worried about you.
Me too.
Worried about you. You're
me too.
Purple face Kelly. You're going to take that microphone and start whipping it around your studio. And
I think you're right.
And I don't know what's going to happen. We're worried.
Yeah, it's a problem. It is. These are concerns. These are roads that I don't want to have to travel down. I need you to win this football game. And the more you win by, the better I'll feel and the happier Pat will be. But I just need you to win it, man. I need you flying back here 1-0, and then we will dissect everything and figure out what we need to get better at from there or whatever. But you just need to start out 1-0 no matter what. No matter what. Figure it out.
I mean,
Johnny, this is a question we have for you. Maybe Google, maybe you know. What is your confidence level going to Texas A&M? They're going to win.
I mean, I haven't done my official prediction yet. I'm going to pick Notre Dame to win. I have no idea by how much. I have no idea I don't know what way I'm going to go, but I'm going to pick Notre Dame to win it, but I don't know by how much. Somebody's telling me to get rid of the chain. That ain't going to happen, man. Personal gift from Mark with glasses, hand delivered to me at the first tailgate. This is not a random thing I bought at some thrift store. This has personal sentimental value, was bestowed upon me at the first official tailgate we had, and I cherish it, and I'm going to wear it until we lose, and then it doesn't come out.
And that chain will blind you. I've seen it in person.
It doesn't.
That thing is shining.
Yeah, it doesn't come out if we lose, but until then, I wear it. But I want you to know that said the mean comment about the chain. This is show memorabilia, and it has a story behind it, okay? And so that's the deal.
Johnny, you should be proud of me. I did no cuss words tonight, and I'm going to make sure that you can get to your next call.
You know why?
So I appreciate
no.
you answering
Listen,
the phone.
You have not drank nearly. You're speaking so clearly. I don't even think you've started yet. I don't think you've started. You're speaking
Johnny,
very clearly.
I've been drinking since 1 p.m. today. I was cooking a brisket from 9 p.m. yesterday.
You sound great.
And I have been doing shots upon beers.
Wow.
And it's just been nonstop. So
You're doing good.
I'm trying to behave myself to answer my phone call.
I'm really, really impressed. Thank you, man. Thanks for touching base. Don't wait till another 10 months. Call me before then, okay?
We'll do it, Johnny. You have a good one.
Have a good one.
Let's go Irish.
Let's go Irish. That dude, he did really, really good. I'm not intoxicated. Oh, there goes John's screen froze. The internet sucks. I don't know what happened. I think I'm back now. It's always something in this studio. 616, you're up in the mix. What's going on?
616.
Yep, this is you, my friend. Thanks for the donation and the call. Thanks,
hey, man.
Thanks for joining us. What's on your mind?
Sorry, it cut out. It cut out just a little bit when I was getting ready to get on. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem at all. Really, really. Thanks for joining. And what's on your mind, my friend?
I just want to congratulate you on your Sports Illustrated venture.
Hey,
first and foremost.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just weird. But this all started just me yelling about football in 2016. I never really thought that it would end up kind of going this way. And I'm just very grateful for it. And none of it happens without all the people calling and commenting and watching the videos and everything and engaging. So I really appreciate it.
You said 2016?
2016. It was about halfway through 2016. I couldn't handle what was happening with the team. I felt that the media was carrying water for Kelly.
2016 was a really bad year.
Yeah.
Really bad year.
And I didn't feel like the media was like being harsh enough about it. And somebody just said, why don't you, if you're so mad, why don't you just record some yelling about it? And that's how it started. So that triggered it all. And now look at us.
I started watching you back in 2020 when we were getting ready to go into the college football playoff.
Oh boy,
against Alabama.
Yeah, that was rough.
So you had a hat on. It was like kind of sprayed on the bill.
Oh yeah,
it was really it was a different kind of podcast or live show that I hadn't listened to before.
Well,
it was like
I appreciate
my own
that.
animus. Like it was great. It's been great. You are the ultimate football fan.
Hey,
Notre Dame football.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, man. And listen, I never act like I'm the X's and O's expert. I'm not going to be breaking down recruit film, who's this and that. I'm not doing that is not my specialty. I just love talking about what Notre Dame football makes you think and feel. And I've just found a lot of people that relate to that. It's beautiful, beautiful thing. It's the most natural football thing there is, man. How does your team's result make you think and feel? I love it. I love this community.
Yeah, me too, man. I actually just bought season tickets for my first time ever.
Oh, wow.
I had it on my bucket list, and I just bought them.
That's going to be an adventure. So wait, how far away of a drive? You live close enough to make that drive every week, obviously.
1 hour and 57 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just about 2 hours there. That's going to be now I got to ask, a lot of people don't love the home schedule anymore. That doesn't bother you that there's only like one, maybe two marquee games on the home slate. You just like having a reason to come back to campus a handful of times a season?
I made a bucket list when I was getting out of the Navy back in 2017. I said I wanted to be a season ticket holder of Notre Dame. So I'm crossing this off the bucket list.
Well, good for you, man. And thank you.
It doesn't matter about the home schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's kind of weak. Like, what do we have? We have Florida State. And what else do we have? We have Louisville on Peacock.
Yeah. Yep. I know. Don't even get it on TV. You don't even get it on TV. I love it.
I mean, I have to go now to at least the Louisville game. Maybe I can make a little bit more money on the Florida State game, but I'm definitely not going to sell to a Florida State fan like everybody else has over the past, 10, 20 years. So I went to Ohio State versus Ohio State. I went to Cincinnati versus Notre Dame a few years ago when we were both undefeated.
Oh boy!
10 match.
Come on, Kelly,
and
you got to win that one, baby.
The most.
Oh my God!
I know, man. It was one of the most disappointing walks to my seat of all time because like I get closer and closer to my seat, and all I'm hearing is Cincinnati fans chanting.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yep. And you know what else? You know what else hurt too about that is that schedule ended up being one of the easiest Notre Dame schedules you could ever beg for. And the game he ends up dropping is Cincinnati at home. It just can't be, man. It just can't. It wasn't even there. It was at home. That schedule was just like asking to be cakewalked through. And it just hurt, man. It really, really hurt. So what do you feel about A&M in this year and the prospects for this year and how big of a deal it is, Freeman year 3 and all that history? What are you like? What is hitting you about this year that stands out? I'd love to know.
So I've been thinking about this over the past few minutes while I've been listening to your show. And, you know, I can't help but think about like a few years ago, like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Didn't Jimbo Fisher bring in a great defensive line recruiting class?
Yep.
A couple of years ago?
Yep. Wasn't that the year they tried to pay for play for like five-star defensive linemen?
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of guys.
And it all kind of blew up.
Didn't work out really. But like, I'm just wondering if you know, because I don't. Do you know like how many guys are left from that recruiting class as far as, because it was the number 1 recruiting class in the nation. Do you know how many guys are left? What
a terrific question. I don't know that number off the top of my head, but it's a very, very good question. I do know they have been very portal active, meaning a ton of guys coming and going. Somebody's saying 2. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Somebody said 2 in the chat. But I know that they have been really active with a boatload of guys coming and going. People are saying most are gone, but there's some left. We're getting a bunch of different.
If my memory serves me right, they had way too many defensive ends and way too many defensive linemen. Period, which inflated the numbers, but they didn't balance out their class. Like we have this many defensive players, we have this many offensive players. They were just specifically looking at stars. So I'm just kind of wondering. I knew they had an influx of DNs. I don't know. And it's not a big deal. But what I'm worried about is obviously everybody else is worried about Charles Jagasaw right now. And it's just like, what are we going to do? I kind of wanted Emil Wagner to take the next step and be a plug and play because I think he has the skill set considering the last couple of spring games that I've watched. He looks like he has good feet. He has good hands. And all I'm worried about is that we're going to have Emil Wagner here, and then we're going to have Tosh Baker over on the left side. And then we have like question marks in the middle. We have a pretty good center in Ashton Craig. But I'm just really, everybody else is really worried about it too. It's like I'm beating a dead horse. But at the end of the day, we have great running backs.
It's a legitimate
But
concern.
our running backs are only as good as the offensive line to a certain extent, you know?
It's a legitimate concern. And a lot of those questions you were asking about, do you flip Wagner all the way over to the other side? Like here's the tough sell for the fan base.
I don't want him to flip all the way.
But here's
he's not big enough.
But see, okay, I get that. But the problem that I think some people have is the idea that you're giving the guy who lost the right tackle job, the left tackle job, when a lot of people consider that a more important position. That's what a lot of people are having trouble processing in their minds, that you're giving the guy that lost the right tackle job, the starting left tackle start, when people think that's more important. People are having trouble rationalizing that and feeling good about it. But he is a big body, and he does have a ton of experience, he's got to be good enough. It doesn't have to be Joe Alt. It just has to be good enough. It just has to be good enough.
He has to be. I've heard from a very, very wise man that if somebody does 80% as good a job as you did, say you were to hire somebody else and they did 80% as good of a job as you did, would that be would that be good enough?
Well, but what happens in the 20% that isn't as good as I do it? If the 20% bad is the guy gets beheaded or his ankle broken again because you're not quick enough to react to a spin move out there and he gets blindsided and doesn't see it coming, or he doesn't get injured, but it's a strip sack and A&M runs it in to win the game on us or whatever. Like, it isn't that simple. I need to know in the percent where it isn't going right, how not right is it going?
Sometimes, John, you give me some anxiety.
Oh, I give
because
myself
anxiety. You speak the truth to it, man.
Bro.
Because what are you worried about? You got Riley Leonard, great quarterback. The last guy was like, what has he done? I remember specifically betting on this game with Duke versus Florida State with Travis at quarterback, still at Florida State, mind you.
Yeah.
I bet on that game. They controlled the whole entire game for 3 quarters. Riley Leonard got hurt. They lost the game. They lost like a 14 to 20 point lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Man,
Riley Leonard is good. He's good. He's better than I don't even know his name anymore. I already dumped him because I thought he was a lot better than he was.
Who, the last guy we had, Hartman? Hartman?
He really made me sad.
He made me sad too. I want that, and I want to split some of that NIL money I helped him get. Damn it! Like, yeah. So
he made me very sad.
I don't know.
At the end of the day, I hope he's successful as a backup quarterback for the Washington Commanders. I really do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, for real, I think I'm just a 36-year-old man, 3 kids, wife, inside. That's all y'all sleeping.
Yeah,
I
man.
think Brother Leonard is a much better quarterback than that.
I like the bigger body, and I do like that he's genuinely mobile. I really do. I think that's going to help out a lot, and I think it's going to be a key factor in week 1. I think you're going to need Riley Leonard's legs, and I think it's going to be. I think we're going to need that. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for giving me a call. It's been a while. October 6th, almost a year for you too. Thanks for giving me a call. Anything on the way out?
I watched 1992 or 1993 Notre Dame versus BYU today. And then I'm watching 1998 Notre Dame versus Michigan. Autry Denson just went for 60 yards.
I like that.
I am so excited for football right now.
It's going to be here. These old games. It's going to be here, man.
And, maybe it's going to be good and maybe it's not. I mean, you said you're going to be really disappointed at 10-2. I think that's right where we're headed.
Ooh.
Personally,
I
think if we actually, I think the offensive line is a very big question mark, and maybe it's going to get us there, maybe it's not. But I know we have the tools to get us there. I really wish, and not enough people have talked about this. Like, why didn't we re-recruit Blake on the offensive line, right tackle? Why didn't we re-recruit that guy
Yeah.
to get him to come back so he'd be our left tackle?
Blake Fisher.
Blake Fisher.
I don't know.
Why didn't we re-recruit?
Tricky.
That's my biggest thing.
It was time for him to go to the league, and I think there was a little.
Was it though? I
There
don't think he was good enough. I know there was like
but if you go, but if you
don't know about
second draft, if you get drafted in the second round, then I'd say that he made the right decision. But I'm also going to throw this in. There was a little. Things didn't go the smoothest in the dynamic between him and the coaching staff towards the end of the year. And that's all I'm going to say about it is just drop that line in the water. They were not all on the same page at the end of the year.
And that's the sad
so
part.
I'm just,
I know that's true.
Yeah.
I've heard something like that. Like,
yeah.
He's just like not there. Like,
yeah.
You can't expect a kid to be a professional, but you want him to be.
Yeah.
Because those are the best players, right?
Yeah, but there was some issues.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah, there were some issues. I just
wish we had a better offensive line. I really do.
Me too. Because if you did have that, this team would be looked at a lot differently. So you got to get by early and survive, and then they'll get better throughout the year. Thanks a lot, man. Give me a call after the games.
They have Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And then they have 2 cake games at home. It's just, do we get past Texas A&M?
Yeah.
All right. We're good.
Yep.
I'll
You
talk
have
to you soon,
to.
man.
Yep. Give me a call after the games, man. Thanks for touching base again. Really appreciate you. Got time for a couple more. It's going to be a first-time caller kind of priority here. And that would be 402. I'm going to do the 574 first. They've been on the line an hour and a half, and that might be it tonight. I'm trying to get all the people that have never called before, or it's been like a year. Don't be mad if you're the other people, but I want to get more people in the mix, build this umbrella out. Jared O'Connor with the $10 holler. Bishop Mac alumni here. Longtime listener, haven't called yet. Must win year. 1 or more losses is a big L for us. Freeman proves himself this year. We're in trouble. I got to love an old Bishop Mac alum like myself. I got a feeling you were like half of my age. I wonder if anything's the same or any of the people are still the same. A good old Bishop McNamara. The best thing about it was you could wear that leprechaun hat and shirt and it all matched for Notre Dame or whatever. We were the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame's the Fighting Irish. I could wear my school stuff and it always matched. It was just beautiful. 574, what's going on? And then that 402, you're going to be, I want to make sure I get you up there first time. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for holding. Sorry to make you do that, but thanks for joining me. What's on your mind?
Not much. That guy on the other phone, who called earlier, mentioned the Cincinnati game.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I want to tell you. If I was why did Kelly lack the balls to call out the fans when they do that BS?
Yeah.
I would call them out severely. And my players would also be required to call them out, or I would be questioning their loyalty to this team.
Yeah, oh man, that was so frustrating. It's the one you couldn't lose. And then all their people wanted to come to our stupid stadium, and it was right down the toll road, and you just hop on the highway and drive down. But it was the softest schedule Notre Dame's going to have. And you couldn't handle it at home.
The Georgia game too.
It was so frustrating. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, but I think coaches should do that. And tell their players, if you don't call the fan base for that, your loyalty is going to be questioned, and you might as well hit the transfer portal. Because I don't want that. I want someone who has the courage to call the fans out when they do that BS, because it's wrong.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. All right, enough about Kelly. What about this year? I want to know your confidence level going into A&M. We're 3 weeks out, and I want to know what you're confident in. I want to know what's keeping you up at night. Let me know.
55 to 60% confident. I think the defense is the team that wins it. And I find it interesting. People want to talk about Notre Dame's unproven offensive line. I want to talk about Texas A&M's unproven quarterback. Against this defense, you have to have a pretty good quarterback to move the ball in this defense.
Man, it's really, really interesting. He's coming off injury. I think they were really excited about him entering last year. Then he got hurt very early in the year, out for the whole year. Then he had to rehabilitate. Then you get a new coach and a new coordinator in here installing a new offense. And then I got to ask, where is that all going to be week one? I just don't know how put together that's all that operation's going to be week one against a really athletic, good Notre Dame defense. I have no idea. Oh, we got a Michigan person in here. That's awesome. Great. Don't you have some signs to steal or something? Anyways, what do you think of that? What do you think of that? Yeah, get your binder ready. Get your binder ready.
You know what? Here's one thing I forgot. I did write in a comment section. You might not have seen it because I know you're a busy guy. Oh, by the way, big congrats on the sports illustration job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Why, if you know, to the Notre Dame coaching staff, if you know you're going to be shorthanded on offensive linemen next season, why didn't you go to the portal for offensive line?
It's very, very hard. I'll tell you why. Where are you going to go? Like, what are you going to do? Go find tackles that are awesome in the portal? Any tackle that's awesome is either playing for like Georgia or Alabama or Ohio State or something, or they left early like Alt did and they're in the pros. It's really, really hard to find a tackle to transfer in that's a high-level tackle, because if they were that good, they wouldn't be grad transfers. They'd be in the league. It's really, really hard.
Always get some experienced players.
Like, isn't that what Notre Dame did? Wait, isn't that what Notre Dame did when they went and got Kane Madden and he played like John Madden after he passed away? I mean, it was bad when they brought Kane Madden in.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, at least if you're going to be short in that area, at least go to a port, at least see if you can find one. That's just me, though. But I think defense is going to be the reason why Notre Dame wins.
Yeah, dude, that Notre Dame defense should be really good this year. Year 3 of the Al Golden system. The roster is a really terrific, healthy blend of experience and athletic youth. I just think that defense should be ready to go another notch. They've already been really, really good. I want them to get into elite, and I think they could be that this year. They need to have a great year, and you got to start week 1.
Yeah, and another thing is, remember what I told you, just game the pick ain't going to be good enough.
Yeah, man, this is going to be so interesting. I
take it all the way back.
I don't know. If I just need Notre Dame to be ready. I need Notre Dame to be ready week 1, man. There's just no way around it. There's no tiptoeing around it. You don't need to blow them out. I know Pat wants that. I don't need that. I just need you to win that ball game. Whatever you got to do, win that ball game.
I agree. I think they will. Like I said, just remember, just go. Defensive players, remember, end zone is calling your name when you get a turnover. I mean, don't just take it. Score with it.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, you are right. Yeah, if you want to look at that defense, the next step, I think it would be turning some of those, more of those turnovers into points. The run game a little bit. If there's one little thing I'm a little concerned about, it would be the run game. In each of the 3 games we lost last year, there was one run right up the gut where it burned us at the worst part in these games and really, really hurt us. So if you could tighten that up a little bit. But this defense, man, I'm ready for them to be balls to the walls. Let's go.
And another thing, a lot of people are talking about Jeremiah Love. Nobody's really talking about Jadarian Price.
Man, I'm expecting a big year from these guys. You're looking at that 1-2 punch. They always say with J.D. Price coming off an injury like an Achilles, which is a tough rehab, it's never the year they return where they hit their stride. It's the year after the year they return after that rehab, and that would line up with this year. You got to feel really, really good about Love and Price, and even what you got behind them with Aeneas Williams and these guys. I think it's going to be a really good group.
I agree. And, and I think also the receiving core is going to be something to look out for. I think the receiving core is going to be a lot better You don't have Stuckey at wide receivers coach. Thank God. He was just bad.
How much better? In how much better? And do you think it's a blend of the receiver talent and depth is genuinely better with a quarterback that could do a little more, and then Denbrock and his vision, or like what's making you have that newfound confidence?
Well, I honestly feel with Denbrock at offensive coordinator, and I think the new wide receivers coach is going to be doing good. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think these first few games will decide if we have a good wide receiving core.
Yeah, is there any like believe it when you see it? Like, are you sure it's going to look that different right away? I need it to, but are you sure it's going to? You don't have any anxiety of like, are they going to be able to get open against A&M's SEC athletes? Like you're fairly confident you're going to see it week one. It's going to be good enough.
I'd say in the first few weeks. I mean, give them time to.
But I don't have a few weeks. I got to win week one against A&M. I don't have a few weeks. It's got to be good enough week one. I don't have a few weeks.
I think at some point during the third and fourth quarter, the Aggies, in my opinion, this is where the game comes down to. Whichever defense is on the field longer is a defense that will crack and lose.
Yeah, I got a lot of anxiety about this. I have like visions of how I want this all to go, and I need it all to go. I'm just not sure I'm going to get what I'm asking for, man. I'm going to pick Notre Dame to win. I haven't decided by how much yet. I just think they should be the more mature program, and Notre Dame's defense should be able to own the night. That's what I think.
Yeah. Hey, I have to be kind of careful with how I have my emotions because I recently had to go to hospital on Monday night because of my heart rate going up higher than normal.
Yeah, man, this is going to be, we just need to get through week one. I have so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Jared, I'd love to go to the country club. That'd be my first pick, by the way.
I think week one, win or lose, gotta be in everyone's ears like a drill sergeant because even if you win, gotta be in their ears because they're gonna slack if they don't.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be wild. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for touching base on a Saturday night. Appreciate you.
Gonna try to work on taking better care of myself because that trip to the hospital was not fun.
Ooh, well, that's unfortunate, man. I hope you feel better and be careful because Notre Dame football could catch up on you. You got to be careful.
Well, yeah, I know. My heart rate was at 124. And I really thought, I swear to you, in the ambulance, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, I don't like hearing this. I don't like hearing this. And I'm also not sure this is a good show for somebody who has those kind of issues. I don't want to, I don't want to jumpstart. I don't want to jumpstart anything.
I'll be all right now. I'm doing better now than I was a few days ago.
Man. Well, I'm glad you're with us. And don't let me stress you out any, okay?
Oh, you didn't. I've had
good. All right.
I'm saying you better now.
Well, you got to hang in there, man. Hang in there. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you.
Remember my name, right?
Do what?
Remember who I am, right?
No, it says undetermined on the phone line.
It's Walter.
Walter. Gotcha. There you go. Good to know. Yeah, it doesn't have a name on the line. It just says undetermined for some reason. Well, thank you.
Just put Walter Payton or something on there.
There you go. Will do.
Find out.
Will do. Thanks a lot, man. I hope you feel better. For real. Take care of yourself now. Don't let me stress you out at all. Don't let me stress you out. Oh my God, this Michigan person. It's like if you took 402, last caller coming up. If you took all of the tropes that I think about Michigan people and you just all put it into one account and then they spit out the algorithm of all those things that enter my head, this is it. All of them. Everybody does it. It's not a big deal. Like everything, we didn't do anything wrong. Notre Dame's irrelevant. Like it's just check all of them. Oh, man. Unbelievable. 402. Thanks for giving me a call. Appreciate it.
Hey, you bet, John. First time caller. Been listening to you for over a year now, and I absolutely love your show, and you're a freaking riot. No, I just want everybody out there to relax. They have to remember that at every level we have veterans.
Oh, I needed this.
Defense.
This is the best way to end this show. I need this. Like, I'm wound tight, man. I can't get over what a big moment week 1 is, and it just has me really wound tight. And then when you add in the stress of like the recruiting anxiety and what that's kind of like I just feel like it's all building, and I'm wound really tight. Like I'm just telling you, man, I am. Talk me out of this. I love this. Great way to end the show.
I've been watching Notre Dame for over 50 years now, and I've been in your shoes probably every year, maybe 48 of those 50 years. But we got to remember, this first game, all we have to do is score over 18 points. If we score over 18 points, we have the game. There's no way that defense is going to let us down. They're not going to give 3 touchdowns up. So if our offense can scrape out 18 to 21 points, we have the game. And I believe if we move the pocket with Riley's feet, run some slants, the whole first possession should be slants, screens, and rollouts, RPOs. Get Texas A&M thinking the next time we have the ball, they don't know what the hell to do. Then we start going up the gut. That's their weak point. And we'll be fine. I'm telling you, I've been through this 50 years. Every year I get overexcited thinking they're going to be the best team in the world, and they always let me down. But I have a feeling this year we have enough veterans on that defense that will take care of us.
It's a really, really good point. And that defense, man, I am expecting them to have a big night. 559, I'll give you the last. You can come on last if you want, because I know your energy level. I'll wait for you, 559. Hold on, don't hang up. That defense, man, I'm looking at. They were really, really good. I want to see them get to elite, man. You got to prevent those dagger runs I mentioned that kind of killed us at the wrong time. But I'm with you, man. It's the blend of the veterans with some athletic young guys mixed in there. That is what has me excited about the defense is you got veteran leadership at each level and then some really athletic, high upside young guys that can be mixed in there and utilized. That excites me.
Yeah, and like I said, veterans at every level, they're not going to get, lose control of their thoughts because you got guys jumping around with white leotards on.
Yeah.
They're focused now. They've been 5-6 years. That crap doesn't bother them anymore. Okay?
Yeah.
The North doesn't bother them. They've been through it. Now, the younger guys, that's when those guys whip them into shape.
Yeah.
But I think if we stop the big gap runs, we'll be fine.
Okay, now let me ask this. What is your anxiety level about the left side of that offensive line and the Jagasaw injury? Do you think it's being overblown and maybe you keep a guy in to help chip on that side to make sure you're okay there and like you adjust, or like are people overdoing it, or is it as big of a deal, or what do you make of that situation? It's a big anxiety.
I really don't think it's that big a deal. I know Jagasaw is great. He had one game under his belt, okay? We have to remember also is we have Denbrock. And Denbrock knows exactly what Texas A&M knows. They know our weaknesses. Denbrock knows they know our weaknesses, okay? He's going to work around that. And he'll be able to move the pocket. Like I said, the first series should be all screens, slants, rollouts, RPOs. You do that the second series that we have the ball, Texas A&M won't know if they should rush, blitz, or do what. Then we can take care of their soft middle and their weak linebacking crew. And I'm telling you, our tight ends and our wing back is going to have a field day against these guys.
Man, I don't think anybody is quite sure what you're going to get out of A&M. There's so much new, like they had like 28 guys come in off the portal. You got a new offense with Colin Klein coming in here. Your quarterback's coming off injury. You got the new head coach. You have all these moving parts. I just don't think I just don't think anybody knows what you're going to get from A&M. And I'm very confident Mike Elko's a good coach. But what do you expect of them week one of putting all this together? I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I watched Kansas City play in a preseason game tonight, and Ian Book is trying out for the team. He got in on his few series, and it was like looking back in a memory book. The kid didn't throw anything over 10 yards. It's like he just would stand there and not throw the deep one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're down by 13. He had the ball with 2 minutes. He would never throw it deep. I think Riley's different. He's been molded. He's old. He's experienced.
Yeah.
He can run if it's not open. And I think he'll in Denbrock, he's going to watch the ball. He doesn't care, like you said earlier. He's going to take chances. That's what we need to do.
But, man, listen, I get where you came up with, like, if they could just get us 17, 18 or whatever and then rely on the defense. But, man, am I greedy for saying, like, with Denbrock here, I want the offense to be more than that, where, like, the defense has to carry the day in a big game and then hope the offense can score a couple times to – like, isn't it time for that stupid Notre Dame offense to carry their part of the bargain and against good teams put up a reasonable amount of points? Like, I'm ready for that, man.
Oh, I agree. I guess what I meant is that all we have to do is score over 18 points. Let me put it that way.
Right. So you're not saying to do that, but if you could do if you could do that and eclipse it, then you'll feel better based on the defense, is what you're meaning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Definitely.
I don't know. And that's the other big question I have is how early do you expect to see a big difference in this offensive efficiency with Mike Denbrock? Is it right away in game one, or is it takes a few weeks for that all to settle in and everything and maybe have a lesser opponent to be able to work the kinks out or whatever? You don't have that kind of leeway. I need those guys to go in there and be effective at Texas A&M, man. Not perfect, but I need them to be effective.
I totally agree, John. I think what they need to do is they need to Texas A&M. Okay, we know we got their defensive ends coming in. It might be fine to put a tight end to chip every once in a while, but if we spread them out, okay, and we hit quick passes, slants, something we haven't seen in 25 years, some slants, and that'll open up the deep ball. So work their middle. Their middle is weak. I don't think their corners are that great either. I'm not sure about their safeties. Their defensive ends are the problem. So let's just stay away from them.
Yeah, man, there's just so much on the line. There's so much on the line here, but I like your confidence. I do like your confidence in the way you're seeing this. Here's the other thing I want to mention too, and I haven't really brought it up today. A lot of talk about this A&M game. Week one random inherentness is a thing. Weird things happen in week one games that will not happen to teams in week 5 and week 6 when they get everything ironed out and figured out. One little miscommunication, one bad timing, all of those things, you see more of them in week 1. And you need to make sure if anybody's making those week 1 uncharacteristic mistakes, it's got to be them and not us. That is the one thing you cannot afford in a hostile road environment like this, is to shoot yourself in the foot with those mistakes. You just can't have it. I can't have it, man.
Yeah, I'm going with the percentages this time, John. We seem to do it every single year. So it's on our side. It's in our favor this year. That's kind of how I'm thinking.
There you go, man.
We can't do it again.
Yeah.
We can't do it again, can we?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But
I'm going out on the ledge this time.
No, I get it. And again, it just feels like a very, very big moment. No matter what you think of A&M's roster and how good that team's going to be, nobody could deny the bigness of this moment for Notre Dame overall and for Marcus Freeman personally as the head coach. You got to go get this one, man. There's just a lot riding on it. Anything else, my friend? Really good first-time caller, and I want you to save the number and give me a call on the post-game shows in a few weeks, man. Anything on the way out? Crystal clear phone line, too. I love it, baby. Crystal clear phone line. Oh, that makes my night. Whenever I hear a crystal clear phone line, it's like the happiest I'm ever going to be. I love it. Thank you.
Hey, you bet, man. Hey, thanks for taking my call. And we'll talk to you soon. My name's Mark, by the way. So good to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Mark without
Yep.
Mark with contact.
I got you. Yeah, Mark with contacts. I got you on the caller ID here. Feel free to call me back on the postgame show. Really appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, thanks, John. Keep it up, bud. Bye.
Have a good one. Thanks a lot. And the final caller of the night, it's 559. If anybody's on the couch half asleep, I guarantee you're about to get woke up. Here we go. I don't know what we're going to get, but here he comes. 559, you're up on the line. What's going on, baby?
What's good, John? What's good, buddy? Congratulations on your promotion or whatever the hell that is. But congratulations.
Whatever it is, it lets John talk about Notre Dame more, and that's a good thing. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. I saw that 559, and I was like, I got to get this guy on to end the day. So if anybody's falling asleep on the couch, you're going to wake him back up. What's going on, brother?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely, y'all better, for you, get your headsets off. I don't want to blow your eardrum or anything like that. I apologize about last time. But, boy, I am fired up right now because this is elite recruiting. Stop crying. All right? This is top-notch recruiting. And you do not want Notre Dame to be going after these kids, but stop the crying. This is elite. Welcome to the elite.
Man, I love your energy.
I get so frustrated. John. First, oh my God, we never went after them. We're shopping at a special aisle. We can't go here. You know what? We're expensive. We're not going to go for clearance stuff. We're going to go for the most expensive stuff. And sometimes you got to watch what you get for. So stop crying. All right? And second of all, this is Marcus Freeman's second year. His first year, he had an offensive head coach. All right? So let's clear that up and nip it up the butt because I'm tired of that. Tommy Gunn screwed us the first year and set him up for failure. He is rebuilding our program. He will get us back to the promised land. And guess what? We need to back him up. And I hope the alumni really, really pays attention how dumb they were when they tried to get Lou Holtz out. They brought in Tyrone Willingham. They hired Dump Bob Davey, or I forgot his name if I said it right. Then we got a guy that lied about his resume. They set us back.
The guy lied about his resume.
Guy is not going to get us back overnight. It's going to take. Rome wasn't built overnight. Rome was not built overnight. It takes time. Everybody, remember, Dabo, Kirby, even the one that retired from Alabama, and then Feinford is all in love with him.
Oh, man.
David took time to build their programs. Give Marcus Freeman time. You know what, Deuce Knight? I'm gonna say it like this. Give me a minute. I've been waiting to call for you, Knight. I even called you for my work. I even took my lunch and I said, hey, I got time for you. I gotta call in. And everybody at my work laughed because I showed them your show the other day. And everyone was like, oh, keep calling. I am. But hold on. This is elite football. We are Notre Dame. And if you guys forgot that, because I know we've been asleep for like what, a half a decade, because we had dumb coaches, we had dumb recruiting going on. Well, you know what? This is elite recruiting. This is going to take time. It ain't going to be overnight. And all you guys geographically and all this other stuff, we are Notre Dame. We go after everyone, anywhere, anytime, any place. We will be at your door if you are acceptable for Notre Dame. Because we are Notre Dame. And you want that bad? Let me tell you, administration, please open up the reins. Open up that piggy bank and let's go after these guys. Because guess what? We will set that market and you ain't going to like it. We have a whole conference going after our guys. You got the whole SEC and Feinfart over there paying on us because we are getting these players. We're going to their doorstep. We are knocking on that door, and we're going to that poker table saying we are all in.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
When you watch the games, when you watch the Notre Dame games, what are you like? Are you like this or are you calm? How do you act during the games? Just wondering.
Man, I'm fired up. I get upset. Man, you don't say. Sometimes I'm just like, I love Notre Dame. I live and breathe Notre Dame. I love Notre Dame for what it stands for what it is and what the belief is of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to start being good Samaritans and junior Boy Scouts and then make everybody happy. That's not the Notre Dame way. Well, guess what? It didn't work last time. Last that I checked, that wasn't working. So guess what? We got to get our gloves and we got to get our hands dirty. It's time to be that blue-collar college football team that we used to be when everybody thought we couldn't wear. We used to wear our green jerseys, right, to give us a little pep. Now everybody wants to wear the green jerseys like we're Christmas trees and stuff like that. We're blue and gold. We bleed blue and gold. Let's start bleeding that all over again. Use the greens on a special occasion, but don't overhype it. This is time where we get our big uglies, our big boys up front, and you look your opponent in the eye and you say, you know what? Today you're going to learn what Notre Dame football is about. And shove it down the throat. Run them down the throat. Run option. Run read. Let Leonard go off. Denbrock, get paid. Show me you the money. Show me you worth all that money. And let's start showing everything that Notre Dame is about.
I like it.
As a fan, we have been set for mediocre. We have always believed we were incapable of being where we're at or we're going to go. But you know what? It starts with us backing up our team and backing up our coach. Win or lose, or you are Domer or not.
All right. I got to ask you a question as we round out the night. The question is, are you going to give me a call after the A&M game when we do the post-game show? You think you're going to call me?
Man, say less. I'm already there. I will automatically be there, win or lose. But I'm letting you know right now, if Notre Dame starts blowing people out, don't be like, oh my God, we could have done it. You know what? We're OU, right? We're offensive line U. The best offensive line go to Notre Dame. Well, guess what? Next man up. Our brother going down, we need the next one up because we need to show them why we are OU, why we're tight end U, why we want to be WU, why we have the best running backs on that. And you guys are all forgetting about Darian Price. That boy is a beast. Don't forget about that guy because that boy's going to show Texas A&M. You should have got me, but you didn't. I'm an Irish.
Man, I appreciate you, man. And I need you to call me back after A&M, and we need to touch base. Really good way to end the show. Anything on the way out, man? I'll give you the final word of the night.
Love you guys. Love all Notre Dame fans throughout the world. But it's time for us to believe that we got our coach. And let's show him the love that he did not get his first year because we had someone over there doing his own dumb thing.
There you go.
But it starts with us as fans. It starts with us starting believing and stop whatever it is, win or lose. We get a recruit or we lose a recruit. We are Notre Dame. We set the standards. We don't let everybody else tell us what we could go after, what cannot go after. We are Notre Dame. Start believing it. If you love Notre Dame, remember what it stands for. We began this. We will end it our way, not their way.
There you go. Oh, that's beautiful.
Congratulations again on you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. I'm glad you found this show, man. You're a good bolt of energy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay?
Yes, sir.
Take care. Ooh, baby. You never know what you're going to get on a Saturday Night Live, baby. All right, folks. It was a pretty good run, man. 2.5 hours. I didn't have Pat. It was just me, a 2.5 hour run. That's a pretty good one for me alone. Keeping it all together here. I got to tell everybody, thanks for everything. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for all of it. And again, a lot of these callers went out of their way to congratulate me on the new deal on the Sports Illustrated and all that. Again, you guys, none of that happens without all of you guys. No, I'm not on the radar for any of those opportunities if it isn't for all of your engagement over the years, whether you like my point or don't like it or the way I do my whatever, like just the engagement. And Dr. John, I didn't know you were still here, man. Thank you. It's really good to have you still here. But I really mean that, you guys. None of those opportunities come for me to do any of this without your engagement. Even the people who disagree with me but are here to let me know, whatever. None of it happens without this community that we've all built. So I sincerely thank you to everybody for being a part of this, not just now, but over the years, and especially the people that have been with me a long time. The ones who remember the old days at the graveyard where I'd be banging on the counter doing the audio show. Like, those were the first people that were like, this guy's different, you're onto something. And I'll always kind of have a sweet spot for all that initial group of people back then that kind of believed in what we were trying to do here. But I love this show. I love all you guys. This community's awesome. Can't wait to see you all in a few weeks at the tailgate. Everybody's invited. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Thanks for being here. Have a good night.